Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode. Not just any old episode, but the 100th episode. So, before we get into all the bullshit and all the stuff that doesn't matter and us living vicariously through some of our favorite movie characters and scenes and whatnot, there's a lot of people that helped get to 100, and you all deserve a thank you. And I'm the worst at being sincere. I'd rather do this the way we do this, which is arguing with other people's points and perspectives that I don't have to shed emotion or put forth emotion, right? I'm using somebody else's. So this is mine. I'm a little nervous, guys, so bear with me here. I actually wrote this out because I wanted it to go well. So first of all, thank you to the fans. Thank you for your ears, your comments, your follows, mostly your downloads. We hope to interact with you a lot more now that we kind of have an idea what we're doing with the show. So if you like what we're doing, head to our website, follow us on social media, stay in touch with us, follow all of our shit. More of you that do that, more people we can eventually affect. So we like the universe that we've created. So we want to bring our fans into it, which is the point of the YouTube series and just putting up videos of anybody that we know, us, our friends, our family, whatnot, to create a universe of debaterness, if you will, with horrible made-up words. But first and foremost, thank you to the fans. There's no reason to be at 100. And I'm not going to sit here and be like 100. Like, how many does fucking Joe Rogan have, right? Like, but it's 100 for us. And in our world, that means a lot. So to not pay you guys a little respect at the top of the show, because without fans, without followers, we could not record it and it would be just as fun. So thank you, fans. On to our guests and the Manitoba film community. In short, you make us look a whole lot cooler than we're supposed to, and we're super grateful for that. Your time in answering our questions and taking a chance on a group of nerds just helps us look the part. You give us clout. You make us look cooler. You don't make us look like a bunch of yokels. So thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your ideas. We love everybody in Manitoba, and we will there's a seat for a Manitoba film professional always in the Real Debater universe in any way, shape, or form. You push paper, you push camera, you push cord, whatever. We want to talk to you because we want to know your shit. And it's really important that other people out there know how much work it takes to make a film. So if you're from Manitoba, know that. But we'll talk to anybody. So if you're in Canada and you've got something on the go, and this is your first time listening and you're like, what's all this thank you shit for? We want to thank you in advance for saying yes to coming on the show. No, I'm just kidding. But in case in point here, shut up, Michael. Thanks, guys. Thank you to On Screen Manitoba, Film Training Manitoba, Manitoba Film and Music, ACTRA, IATSE, all you guys. You are one hell of a fucking crew. And for taking time out of your busy lives, like when you're done and you say yes to a local podcast, that's a huge win for us. So thank you so much for that, guys. To our base, to our local podcasters. First of all, Manitoba Podcast Fest for letting us come on our first year when we had no idea what we were doing. That was super big of you. You elevated the show. You made it. We were like, oh, we're invited. We're invited to a fucking festival. What the fuck are we even doing? So that was super cool. The Podiant boys, you know who you are, but nobody knows who you are like I do. So Sean and Todd from Sean Geek. Sean, your positivity is contagious for a cynic like me. So thank you for just always, put on a better smile the next day. I don't know. This emotion shit's my downfall. But thank you just for being the positive podcast light that you are, sir. And to your brother Todd, you've helped me technically with a bunch of shit. You've helped us technically with a bunch of shit. And you came over one afternoon and spent time with me when you totally didn't have to. So Sean and Todd from Sean Geek, go give them a listen. Those guys are the shit. Sam from Witch Police Radio. I sent you Twitter messages and was like, can you talk to me about what you do and teach a stranger how to do it? And you did. Most people wouldn't do that. So that's super solid of you, dude. Thank you for making me feel like I wasn't a loser standing outside wanting to come in the party. You were just like, come on in. Water's warm. We have a pool at this party. Whatever. And lastly, the third Podiant or fifth Podiant boy. I don't count doing this. Why should I have to? James Beaver. James, you English bastard. I know I said this to you before and we have it on record, but without you putting me in front of Ongoing History New Music with Alan Cross, that would not have gotten me an interview with Kevin Smith, which is on our Instagram feed. If people want to see it, you can go take a look at that video and see me try not to lose my shit, because I'm talking with the nerd of all time. Anyways, without that thing with Alan Cross at the podcast festival, definitely wouldn't have had that gig. So thank you for that, sir. And thank you for your show and putting us through the shit that you put us through weekly. It's great. I mean, by shit, I don't mean you. I mean, you know what I mean. The movies you pick. Anyways, to the local podcasting crew, to our podcast group, you guys are the best. We bounce shit off of each other. It's a really cool thing. So, Mom, specifically Mom, not just for, all of the biological shit, but thanks for letting me take an education fund that you held on to pretty tight. You were like, maybe I'll go to school when you're 40. You just wouldn't give it up. But then I was like, I want to do this. And you were like, go, make mistakes, try things, and did all those things. So, but without you, no microphones, no board, no nothing. Well, we would have gotten it, but it would have been shit. So thank you for stopping me and letting me get really good shit and giving your only child who suffers from only child syndrome a microphone to talk to the world in, because everybody should pay attention to me because I'm the only one. No, whatever. Mom, I love you, and you're just, yeah, you took to this like a duck to water. And that was super cool because it's a steep learning curve for me. So when you wanted to download podcasts onto your phone, I knew I had the hooks in you. I was like, got another one, even if she doesn't listen to our show for much longer and just gets into her gardening shows, whatever. She's a fan. So, Mom, I love you. To the cast, we'll start young to old, I guess. We'll go in some sort of order here. Jimmy, you are the oldest soul, one of the oldest souls I know, and a gem of a dude. Thank you so much for showing all of us a side of horror that we never would have watched because we wouldn't have you cheering it on and just selling it so perfectly. Would have never watched Sleepaway Camp, dude. We would never be talking about as much horror as we're talking about. And just you in general, man. Like I said, you're an old soul. You're full of good vibes. And everybody knows that about you. I'm just telling the rest of the world who doesn't. Rob, thanks for pushing us to get better gear. And your love of talking for hours and hours and hours and hours on end about anything film related. Mark, thank you for making interviews easier. And your ability to roll with the punches helps me and puts me at ease when we're doing that stuff because I get all nerdy and shit and fanboy. Ian, your sense of film, Ian Bawa, new debater. Your sense of film and range and what you like makes us all better film nerds. You have amazing taste and such a great eye. Steve Taylor, our resident film professional as well. Your advice on just record everything and leave nothing out has paid dividends over and over and over again. I have so many things people should never hear. Just kidding. Not everybody needs to hear that many dick jokes in a row. That's why we cut it. What else do we have here? Charles Fernandez from the Nerdgasm Show and our most recent crown debater as of like a week ago. You are the ultra nerd, sir. You were king. You were only under Kevin Smith. Well, maybe a few others, but you know what I mean. Everyone loves your passion on the show, and you just you suck up information like a sponge, so we just leech off you. No, I'm kidding. We don't leech off you. You are one fantastic dude, and I'm glad I met you. And everybody is like, yeah, get Charles. Yeah, call Charles. What's up? What's up? We don't want to eat anymore. Get Charles. I'm kidding, guys. You're both loved. You're both new. You're both loved. You're both perfect. So perfect. Lastly, Aaron, who designed the writing. That's his handwriting in the logo because he was just like, stop being such a picky asshole and pick something. And I was like, I like that. He was like, I drew that. I'm like, okay, let you make it simple. So he drew the writing. And he's always been like the graphic guy who gives me tips and tells me how to JPEG this and whatever that. Because I didn't know a lot. I knew this shit, but I didn't know how to do it professionally. So I think I've got everybody. Oh, there's one more cast member. I didn't forget you on purpose, Martin. Martin Navarro, ladies and gentlemen, is the first person I said want to do this to. And he said yes. And I wouldn't have done it on my own. I wouldn't have been able to reach out as far. I probably would have, but I wouldn't have done it as well. And so for all the behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody sees, it's just me and you bounce shit off of each other and just saying yes. Man, like you said yes. Like you had no idea what we were going to do. And we all know how much shit we didn't get recorded. And our first episode is literally fixing a glitch and just going, okay, record now. Hopefully it takes it all. So that's what's like prefacing before the show is panic and hysteria and like sweat on that first that Batman debacle. And you've stuck through it. You're the OG, motherfucker. You are the melody to my notes. You're the peanut butter to my jelly. I love you like peas and carrots. I'm just blending lines. Anyways, dude, you know it. So thanks for just saying yes and making this happen with me. Like that's a lot. It's a big thank you. That's why you were last. Anyways, to Shauna, my wife, my partner, my panda, my best friend. Thank you for putting up with every broody moment of me just being a dick, not getting my way with this thing, and not knowing how to make a mistake, and not knowing how to act like an adult all the time during those mistakes, and putting up with a lot of shit, for watching cords getting pulled in and out of the bedroom all the time because that was the best lighting. No, that really wasn't why. It was just the best sound. And just always asking, always going, how'd it go? Always wanting to know where it's at. You're my panda. You're my cheerleader. I'm not going to tell you why she's my panda. Fuck you. You guys don't get that much information today. Being emotional, not Facebooky. Anyways, no offense to anybody who gets all emotional on Facebook. Whatever. That's your thing. Point is, baby, I love you, and I'm going to start rambling more, and just know that every time I've ever not been able to get back on my feet with this, and it was a learning curve. You were the one pushing my ass off the couch to stop watching Netflix and figure it out. So I love you so much for that. I think that's my performance. Yeah, that's everybody. Holy shit. If I forgot you, I'm really sorry. I wanted to put this here because it's more important than the episode. So if you've already skipped this, then that's totally fine. But this is a big thing for us. I mean, it's a normal Wednesday in a pandemic. Figured out how to do a podcast in one. So it's this week. Fuck, shut up, Michael. Let's just get into it. This week. Thanks, everybody. No, seriously. Thanks for everything you've done to make me better at something I had no idea how to do. That's for every single one of you. Anyways, back to the show. So who's on the show? Who's on this normal Wednesday show? Martin, coming in from Vancouver. Mark, me, and Rob. No debate. Mini debates. Shorts. That's what we call them. We don't have a name for it yet. So we talked about if we were Vincent Vega, and we were in the same scenario as him with Mia Wallace and the infamous heroin overdose. Could we handle that scene? Should we handle that scene? Would we handle that scene? How would we do in our real everyday life? How would we do in post-apocalyptic environments? We do some this or that. Would you rathers? A big opening round of what we watched this week. We go deep in the paint on that. I don't even want to tell you what it is because it's such an eclectic. This is one of the most colorful. What did you watch? Like just from each little like genre and streaming service. It's just all over the map. And then lastly, we play a new game that Mark invented. Mark invented this game. Said it in the chat room, and it was like, holy shit, yeah, we should do that because it's going to be embarrassing. We play a new game called Admit It. Admit It is clearly that. Admit a movie that is so beloved, so well known. Throw a rock down the street, you nail 100 people that have seen it in 20 feet. Bad math. Point is, it's a super well-known, loved movie that you haven't seen. And then argue why you haven't seen it. Why it fell off your radar, why you never got around to it, why it's not on your watch list, so on and so forth. And always lots more. So that's what's on the show. I am unfortunately locked out of some things on my analytics, so I don't know who the top 10 is this week, so we'll figure that out next week. And it's nobody's fault. Nobody here nor there. So, yeah, I'm going to shut up. Let you guys get into a show and enjoy our 100. We got like hundreds more in us now. And I think we've worked out all the kinks. I think we figured out that we're not going to do this and not going to do that and don't do that and don't do this. So a special big thank you to everybody. Like if you've listened to everyone consecutively, good fucking job. I should have something for you, but I don't. Then you've put up with a lot of like, what about this? Let's try that. Where's this coming from? All that shit we're kind of done with. So put up with our Zoom sound for a little longer. Our province is slowly getting the vid under control, so we might only just have one person on Zoom going forward as much as possible, which would be so great because we all get to just stare at Martin for hours. It's delicious puppy dog eyes, I tell you guys. Go follow him on Facebook. You'll know what I'm talking about. point is, I've said enough. If this is your first time, you've heard a lot. Try our other 99. They're fun. Like I said, thank you guys. You have made all of us very happy. I know the guys can't say it. Like I always say, we do this days after because we all have other shit to do. But they're all like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Way to go. Right? There's a lot of psyched, good energy over here from all of you guys. So from all the cast and all the people over here on this end, I will cue the reel, and you enjoy the show.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the chart.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order. Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm going to stay far away from
let's dig into movies, shall we?
Yeah.
Welcome to another Real Debaters production. We have got a special show for you today. We don't have another debate. We do have a bunch of fun, rousing questions to get into. First, let's see who's here. Who's in the corner over here?
Mark Cowell.
On over here.
Jimmy Stewart.
You just fucked up his name. Like because it's Skinner. You just combined James Stewart and Jimmy Skinner together.
Yeah, because I'm like really into Hitchcock.
You had a fucking Wonderful Life over here.
Okay, you know what? Lay off, okay? I'm Rob Strachan.
Yeah, fucking Rob Strachan. Damn right you are. Who's in Vancouver?
Jimmy Stewart III, a.k.a. Martin Navarro.
Yes,
Yes, thank you.
Mark, you want another crack at this?
No.
And I'm Michael Petro. And I want to know, Martin, what the fuck did you watch this week?
Oh, I watched, there's this, what's it called? Predestination, that new Ethan Hawke thing that's on Netflix.
That's so good. Anybody else?
It's good, man. It's a mindfuck.
Oh, okay. Dig it. Go.
I won't spoil it, but if you've seen Futurama, Roswell ends well. The whole point was like Fry becomes his own great-grandfather or whatever. That's pretty much the whole point of the movie of this one. But it's got some cool, interesting twists and turns. It's really good. It's like a time travel movie.
It is one of the most, I will back him up on this, one of the most mind-bending time travel movies because it plays with, it's a Nolan, but more understandable. Would that
So what's it called again?
Predestination.
Ethan Hawke, who's, let's see who gets there first.
It reminds me of that TikTok I sent you guys this week about the give me a premise.
That guy is genius.
He's hilarious.
Does anybody remember the name of his
Charles
channel?
McIntyre, but he can't show his own face.
Right? Oh my God. You have to send me that after.
Then he realizes the guy that's telling him this is covering his face. It's him in the future. That's the end of the movie, but it's the beginning of the movie. Then we watch the entire movie backwards.
That's exactly Predestination. Hang on here. So yeah,
I feel like he was making fun of Tenet, but that's fantastic.
So we have Ethan Hawke, Sarah Snook, Noah Taylor. Noah Taylor.
He's from Game of Thrones. He was in Game of Thrones.
He was in Vanilla Sky. He was the doctor in Vanilla Sky.
I know a Taylor or two.
You know a Taylor or two? I miss
Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Is that a Taylor still? Tim Taylor?
Hold the door.
It's not Hold the Door. But yeah, that's above the line. But it is like it definitely messes with spoiler alert. It's been out for like what, 2014? Is that how long it's been?
Yeah,
out?
2014 was the release date.
Okay. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been around for a while, but essentially it is that, right? Like she ends up finding out that, well, you know what? This is one of those movies that you shouldn't ruin. So
yeah.
I will stop right there and save everybody.
Yeah, no spoilers, motherfucker.
Yeah, no,
the guy on TikTok is called It's Even Williams.
It's Even Williams, not Evan Williams.
I don't. The text is really fucking small. Okay?
James Stewart. What was that?
Hey, can I borrow your bifocals there, Mark?
My shades.
What was your favorite part about it, Martin? Just
I can't. If I go over the favorite part, it would be such a spoiler to the whole audience. And
Is it as good or better than Gattaca?
It's better than Gattaca. I really like this one. It was a surprise. I'm surprised I've never heard of it because I like time travel and sci-fi. So I'm surprised it took me this long to.
I think all of Michelle's rom-coms that she's been watching on the Netflix has fucked up the algorithm, and I'm mad that hasn't shown up for me as recommended.
Ooh, just search it. It's on there, buddy. Add it to your list right now.
I think I need to create a separate profile for her.
it is on
Do not share a network's account. The
Yeah.
algorithm will fuck with you.
No, listen to that man over there because
You know what? I'm gonna delete
have
it.
to
I'm gonna
embrace-
delete it and start a fresh new one and make her have her own.
yeah, no, totally.
Embrace our AI overlords.
Yeah, because like Paw
Feed
Patrol,
the
Paw
algorithm.
Patrol, and Peppa Pig keeps fucking with shit too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
your
Your,
own.
your top 10 is Peppa Pig and
I refuse to bleed.
No, I have a separate one for Lucy.
I don't bleed accounts in this house. Like Sean has got Somebody Feed Phil and Big Mouth on hers, and I have like.
You don't like Big Mouth?
I love Big Mouth, but I'm just
Okay.
saying like. That's what her algorithm shows her, so we let that show her that, so we get that, and then we optimize on the AI from IT Professor Mark over here, where I get what I get, she gets what she gets, and then the algorithm works for us. Instead of using the same shit and getting caught in the middle with Peppa the Pig and Saw showing up like in the same fucking feed, right? Like,
Wow, that's another show.
that's
We're gonna mix horror
Algorithms.
basically
with
Animal Farm.
with
Yeah.
popular kids shows.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, no,
4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
Mark,
Animal.
Rob, sorry. Rob, say it again so we don't forget. Well, it's on recording, but
So for a future show, we will take an adult horror movie and mix it with a popular child's cartoon.
fuck yes, that is going down a
But
dark
it has
hole.
to be like under 7 popular
Sure. Yeah,
kids
yeah,
show.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like Dora the Explorer,
Yeah.
Barney,
Yeah.
Peppa Pig,
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street,
Magic School Bus, Carmen San Diego.
Carmen San Diego's too old.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
Fucking Arthur.
Arthur.
Babar.
Babar.
Scooby Cujo-Doo.
Maybe Astro Boy. Maybe Astro Boy.
Did you just try to combine Scooby and Cujo?
Yeah.
Can you do it one more time?
I was trying some stuff out in my head. I don't know. Coogie Doo.
Coogee-doo. Coogee-doo.
Coogie Doo.
That's the name of the episode right there. It's fucking Coogee-doo. I love it. Okay. Martin, I think
I need you to write an opening theme song.
yes. I want a whole fucking jingle. 30 seconds. It'll replace ours.
He would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Martin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the entire movie takes place in a bar?
No, it's I guess mostly in a bar, but there's a couple different scenes. Like they go outdoors for some.
Is it one of your favorite Ethan Hawke movies?
No, not really, but I mean it's still a good surprise. Like I didn't expect much from it on Netflix, and I got 2014 sci-fi movie with Ethan Hawke. How good is this going to be? So I went in with really low expectations and was pleasantly surprised.
Does he smoke angel dust?
No, he doesn't get wet.
So it's not as good as.
Is he
Training
a
Day.
better actor than his brother Mike?
Is it better?
Isn't he adult film star? Is that adult? He's an adult film star. He's the MILF hunter. I don't know why I know that. Why that's somewhere stored in here.
Petro almost bit for that one.
I was
bit.
fucking dangling.
He's here. What's Mike Cock been in?
I was saying it quietly behind the mic going,
Oh.
Mike. Oh, okay.
Thought I almost had you
You,
there.
you fucking
Oh.
I was biting on my cock. But
What's your favorite thing Mike Cock?
what's my cock been in, guys? I don't. Where's my cock been?
He's been hanging out with Mike Hunt.
I just want Zinga. Martin, I just want to confirm though. Did you just say Ethan Hawke's brother is the guy from MILF Hunter?
That's just a joke. It's the internet.
I wanted to. I just didn't want to.
There was a guy online, a porn star named Mike Hawk.
Oh, of course there was. If there wasn't, one of us would probably have to be. All right, so like out of
From MILF Hunter to Manhunter, could we segue there?
Martian Manhunter.
right.
Martian.
Also played by Mike Hawk.
Why hasn't there been a porno called Martian MILF Hunter yet?
You assume.
You know what? There's gonna be.
Yeah.
Rule
it.
34 of the internet.
There it is. If you've said it, it will be a porn. What would you say out of 5 level of time travel movie? Like, is it a really good time travel movie? Like, fuck the plot aside, just the way they play with time and pull the yarn. Is it worth getting into if you're a big time travel nut? Because I've seen it on every top 10 time travel movie lists. Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I would give it I gave it my full attention the other day. I didn't have I wasn't on my phone scrolling through things and wasn't trying to read through articles while I was watching the movie. I legit paid attention to the movie and it's really good. I would give it like maybe a 3.5, maybe 4, somewhere between there out of 5.
And it's Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Rob, I know you said it before we started, so I'm going to hit you up next. What'd you watch this week? Biatch?
Not Martian MILF Hunter. And I just Googled it, and it looks like it doesn't exist at this point.
Well, we got a question coming up from fans after we're done this that's going to have everything to do with MILF hunters and Martian porn.
Oh,
So
great.
but
Awesome.
Isn't it interesting? Because just because it's not on the internet, you assume that it doesn't exist.
Right.
yeah,
Like if it's not on the internet, it's not real.
Are you saying that I should have done the search in incognito mode and it would have shown up?
Did you use DuckDuckGo and a VPN?
I will in
Using
a minute.
Tor browser, or you're in the dark half of the net?
Yeah.
All right.
'Cause-
Can I just say a funny thought before we get into that pick? Like, just because we're on the subject of porn, I find I'm deleting my browser history a lot sooner the older I get. Like, I'm used to when I was younger, it'd be like a week, maybe 2 weeks before I deleted my browser history. Now that I'm getting older and could potentially die at any minute, I'm deleting it like every 5 minutes now because I don't want people to see what I search when I die.
As he's jerking off and finishing, he's like,
oh, I gotta delete all this. I gotta delete all this.
I got to delete as I go. Delete as you go.
That's his new kink is deleting his search browser just as he's about to come. Oh yes, now I can come.
oh, the shame.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
the
like the shame never happened. We delete it, empty it like the trash can in my phone. Never happened.
What'd you watch this week, Rob?
You know, it's weird when you said trash can. The first thing that pops in my mind is the scene from Van Wilder where the guy like they give him like the colon blow and then he like has to go into the medical exam and then he's like his stomach's going and he's all sweating and stuff and he just grabs a trash can, pulls down his pants and just shits in it. That's great. What did I watch this week? Not Van Wilder. Surprisingly, I watched a movie from 2017.
Give it to me.
Starring Kevin Hart and Michael Cranston called The Upside.
Oh,
And if you haven't seen this movie, it's really fucking good.
what's the plot? I know about it. But what's
So the plot is basically about Kevin Hart plays a guy who's recently got out of prison, looking for a job, is kind of estranged with his I don't know if it or his wife and his kid. And Michael Cranston is a super rich investor, writer, all this kind of stuff, who is in an accident and has become a quadriplegic. And because of happenstance and him going to a place for a job interview where this other job interview is going, ends up getting a job being, I think they refer to it as a life auxiliary.
Yeah, I remember that scene in the trailer.
He's essentially like, just like helping him with day-to-day tasks.
Auxiliary proxy kind of thing.
Exactly, right? And they both learned lots from each other. And I don't know, it's just good dialogue, really well done. Bryan Cranston does such a good job as a quadriplegic because he's able to convey that presence and he's able to, and that body language without being able to move anything below his
Would that
neck.
have been made like mid Breaking Bad?
No, 2017 was after Breaking Bad.
But I mean, it was made. If it was released in 2017,
If he's-
It would have been
filmed
made
in-
in 2016 probably.
So it could potentially be during Breaking Bad.
I
could
thought
it
Breaking
not?
Bad ended in 2015 or 2014.
I'll tell you in a second. Keep fighting. 2013.
Jeez.
That's how long ago.
That's how much time you've lost lately.
Blink and there's a decade gone.
Because you've been working on your deck. That's how you lose a decade.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that
I could have used a decade, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to do it on myself.
I didn't know where to put that. You
Yeah.
found the home for it.
awesome.
Okay, back to
Can I continue to talk about my shit? All right. I liked it because it's great seeing Kevin Hart in a non-comedic role, and it actually kind of shows that he's capable of more. I mean, obviously the character.
I think everything Kevin Hart's done is a non-comedic role. Even his stand-up.
Yeah. The other movie that I just watched was last night, and so there was an article that I saw with Elliot Page, and I guess he had gotten top surgery.
Okay.
And so I was kind of intrigued, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, are they adjusting all the credits in the streaming services from Ellen Page to Elliot Page, which they have. But then I thought further, and I said, because everything's in the digital realm now, are studios editing the credits, right? So Flatliners came up from 2017.
Yeah, she was in the remake or
and
reboot.
in the reboot.
He was
or
in the remake. Sorry,
he was in the remake, and so I started watching, and it still says Ellen Page in the credits, right? And then I was just like, "Fuck it, I've never seen this movie. I'm gonna fucking watch it." and it was okay.
What movie?
Flatliners.
You've never seen Flatliners?
No, this is the remake.
Oh, okay. Oh no,
Oh.
me neither.
Oh, please.
remade it?
Have I not seen the original,
Yeah, I'm
motherfucker?
like,
Of course
what the
I have.
fuck?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they re.
Kiefer Sutherland has a small role in the remake.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And I mean,
But there was no Oliver Platt, so I was not interested.
I love Oliver Platt.
so one might say that Flatliners flatlined.
Sure. I don't like your dad pun, but that was well put.
That was weak.
It was okay. Like it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. Did it entertain me for an hour and
I
48
thought you were talking about
minutes?
Mike's pun.
Yeah.
Mike's-
Okay, I'll take my lashes.
Yeah.
It entertained me for an hour and 40 minutes, that pun.
If we know anything, we know I go long. So yeah, that would make sense. Go on.
And I've been rewatching Invincible because it's fucking the best. And that's
Yep.
all I'll say.
Well, I just segue into what I've watched because all I've watched is Invincible. Like
I've
just
wa-
fucking rubber to rubber. I've had no time for anything but hockey playoffs and Invincible.
Well, that's what.
How many times have you watched the last scene of the first episode?
Oh God, that is bloody.
Dude, it's fucking dope.
So good.
It's so good.
That and the fight in the fucking whatever his name is, Iron Face, Tech Face, whatever.
Robe.
What's his name?
Robot? This is Robot.
Robot Face.
Yeah.
Robot.
The fight in his office is also fucking
Yeah,
bloody as
it
fuck.
is good. It is good.
I just love watching him. Like, I feel bad for the mountain in the last episode. Like when they fight and like he just keeps pummeling him. I'm like, that mountain. I mean, I know it's an inanimate object, but like a movable force in an inanimate object. That's what happens when they hit. Right.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were talking about Game of Thrones. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
No,
That's
no.
what I thought.
That was pretty gory too. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But
when he gouged out his eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well-
you knew that fight with the Hound was coming. They've been building that shit.
I want to see the upside first of all, just to kind of.
I know.
And
And you're gonna watch Flatliners.
No, I'm not. No, not at all.
What my glowing recommendation didn't
Won't touch it. I mean, it's a classic. Is it early 90s? 92?
1990.
1990.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's
So it is in the realm of the best era of cinema, and
No, it was in the era of when every movie that came out everybody saw because not many movies
The
came
best era of cinema
Is the
in
90s.
1990
not 1990, the 90s,
is the best era of cinema ever.
for a lot of
think
reasons.
I think Ian would fight you, and so would Aaron right now.
Probably, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I mean, they're welcome to it. I know I'm making a bold statement, and I'll probably regret it
It's a
halfway through the
fucking
show.
Super Bowl. Is that because Titanic came out and you just
No,
love that one?
No, it's probably draw me like one of your French girls, Jack.
I'm the king of the world.
and I have a
Listen,
boner.
bitch, there's room on that fucking piece of wood for Jack too. So slide over.
Didn't have to let go, Rose. You could have just let him go. No, I think that's a gut reaction because that's.
I apologize for calling her bitch.
I just came up in the 90s, right? So you
Yeah.
instinctively
No,
go
I
to the
get it.
fact that that's your era of filmmaking. But if you want me to think about it, we can have that
Well,
conversation.
let's review why the 90s is not the greatest era of film, because really the only true standout movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger made in that entire decade was True Lies, and it's fucking good.
True Lies is great.
But let's look
Pretty
at the
sure
catalog.
Pretty
of,
sure Kindergarten Cop was in that era.
It's right on the
Oh.
fucking cusp, but it's not as good as Commando or Predator.
I love how you're defining the 90s by Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the best part of this.
So wait, guys, nobody liked The Last Action Hero? Just me?
The chopper. I was gonna mention Last Action Hero, and you know what's the best part of Last Action Hero? When the villain, I can't remember his name, throws the axe, and he like ducks it, and the axe goes right over his face. That part's fucking dope.
That wasn't that a 3D movie, and wasn't that one of the?
It was not a 3D movie.
Wasn't it a 3D movie?
But remember when they did a massive advertising where they put Last Action Hero, painted it on the side of a rocket before it shot up? But by that point, nobody gave a fuck about NASA. Nobody watched rocket launches anymore, and it was like, that's a big waste of money.
That is a.
I don't
huge-
think Rob took his Adderall today.
I don't think. Yeah, I know because we. Let's. Thank you. So the upside is really good. Flatliners is shit. Last Action Hero was put on a rocket.
And another
Arnold-
thing.
And another thing.
And we define what is the greatest decade in movies based on Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that were released. And the reason why the 80s is the best is because Conan the Barbarian was released in 1982, and that is all.
I thought you were going to say cocaine.
Cocaine was released in the 70s, bro.
Debate cocaine
It was
versus.
hot in the 80s, though. It was hot in the 80s.
It was better in the
Fashionable
70s
in
because
the
there was
80s.
no AIDS. So people are afraid of unprotected sex.
Mark, what did you watch this week?
I watched fucking Invincible.
That okay, all right.
That's
so
all
hockey,
I had time.
But
And
hockey playoffs
and hockey.
and hockey playoffs.
And I
Invincible.
only
Yeah.
started watching Invincible
Well, you see,
in the last week, so
We're-
I just packed it all in.
there is
I watched it all in one day.
there is behind the scenes shit here because we were all supposed to do the Invincible episode tonight, and we're going to do it, where we're going to fan cast the live version of it and see if J.K. Simmons actually could do it on screen or not. Like I think that's part. Like they voice casted these characters so well.
Oh, yeah.
That pulling them out of and not include, like, it's almost offensive, but at the same time, it's just going to be fun to do. But second to that, you crushed Invincible. Like you it was FOMO involved
Yeah.
Invincible. I think, right?
And I just hit it hard, and yeah, I didn't have that
Like
much
hard
time.
like a crack pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Again and again.
'Cause you were
yeah,
up-
I didn't have much time to watch TV because I was really, really busy. But then I just fitted it every time I sat down. I put on an episode and watched it, and I couldn't even finish full episodes most of the time. I was watching it in like little 20-minute, half-an-hour bursts.
So
On the can.
No, it was a
I am
big
going
screen,
to
but-
the bathroom again.
So we've all been like, "Fuck yeah, Invincible." You have the floor for a couple seconds. What is your favorite part
You know
about
what? I'll be honest. I was really hesitant at the beginning because I'm like, I don't want to watch a cartoon.
Exact same thing.
Right.
I thought the
And
same
I let
thing.
I let him be my
I'm like,
spirit
I don't-
animal, and I just did it.
I don't know if I can get into a cartoon. And then I started watching it, and right away it took me back to like the 80s, like X-Men cartoons. And
That was the 90s.
right. Was it the 90s? No, it was not. It was
Yes,
the
it
80s.
was.
Well, I watched
90s.
because I was in high school in the 90s, and I wasn't watching X-Men cartoons.
Best era of film. That's all I have to say. Go on.
The Batman cartoon from the 80s.
So, anyways, it kind of really took me back. And I'm
That's
like,
technically
yeah,
the
I
90s
like,
too.
you know, even the interactions of like old Spider-Man type, our old Spider-Man
Yes.
cartoon, right? It kind of took me back to that time, and I'm like, yeah, I do like this. Like, and then I got into
Right?
it, and I got into it more, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Like, don't.
And now I'm super sad that there's not another season right away, or there's not 22 episodes of season 1.
Right? And it's so violence wise, story wise, you're sucked, you're good.
You know what? The violence was perfect, somewhat necessary to some extent, because of just to sort of paint the story and really lay out Omni-Man's, you know, sort of
It's the Mona Lisa. of
like who he is,
awesomeness.
right? And they really packed all the Viltrumite stuff into like the last episode about
Mhm.
like
They were fucking
really,
jamming
yeah,
it
they
in
were
there,
really
yeah.
jamming it in there, especially when the Seth Rogen comes from the other planet. And
One-eyed alien.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have warned you.
Somehow there's a working relationship between Kirkman and him on another project, which is how he was like, "Hey, you wanna do the one-eyed alien guy?"
Seth Rogen. Let's just talk about him as a producer right now. He's producing like everything
fire.
that's amazing.
On fucking
Did
fire.
you see his pickle movie? The
I
American
it was
Pickle?
so
Not.
adorable.
I liked it.
I loved it.
I liked it.
But
It
you
was
see
good.
him as like his producer credits are just fucking insane right now.
Martin
Yeah.
can back me up on this, but I
Ching,
think
ching,
he
ching,
gets
ching, ching,
doesn't he
ching,
get a lot
ching,
of
ching.
rewrite work for like punching up
Yeah.
movies and making shit
done,
funny?
He's done that for 20
Yeah,
years.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's what he does. He's been doing that for a while.
The Boys. He's fucking Rogen. Like,
Well, so Rogan's a big nerd. Like he's a nerd. He loves comic books, and that's he backs what he wants to see himself. Like he's a fan, right? That's what makes him good at these types of shows for producing them. So
And I heard him on Dax, and he says the exact same thing. He's like, if you're not like, you can't make somebody do a thing as best as if a fan did it,
Mhm.
yeah.
right? So, and he's just fucking funny.
That's why Henry Cavill is so good in these roles.
I
Yes.
think
He's a fucking nerd.
I think Rogan's finally got to the point of he's made enough money that now he can do
Whatever the fuck
whatever's
he
from his
wants.
heart, and that's kind of why he opened this weed company, right? That's
And he
out
wrote a
of-
book.
but it's fun. His weed company. I remember seeing him. I don't know if it was on Rogan or if it was on Dax or something like that. But they sell a shit ton of furniture, right? Like
Yeah, because he makes pottery and stuff.
yeah,
right?
it's really kind of cool. It's called like something home. I can't remember what it's
Good
called.
Home, is that maybe?
No,
Is it furniture that's really comfortable to pass out to when you smoke a lot of
no,
weed?
but it's like
Should be.
it's like fancy fucking ashtrays that people don't make anymore,
Ooh.
and like things that
Like
are
the kind that you would see in a government office?
Yeah. you know, and it's kind of cool because they found out that he's got a big interest in design and furniture design and stuff. But yeah, and I thought he was kind of a goofball teenager make bunch of weed films like fucking Pineapple Express, and now I kind of think he's a genius.
He is a genius.
He's a savant in hiding. Like, I couldn't agree with you more. He has this touch. He's got that Midas touch right now, and it definitely stems from. He's a good dude too. Like, he's like,
yeah. So his statements around everything to do with
Franco. And,
yeah.
Like,
It's been very well played. Like, very well stated.
It's a good time to be a nerd in Hollywood.
Can I bring
Let's
up one
call
thing
it
about Invincible before I forget?
you're allowed to bring up one thing.
Do you think when they start doing season 2 and they're doing like the voice recordings and stuff, if J.K. Simmons shows up on set without a mustache, they're gonna send him home, right? And make
Yeah.
that is all.
Yeah, no, that's a faux pas. I agree with
That's
you.
the one part.
Get in the character.
That's the one part that
would you?
kind of I don't know if I really agree with. Is they took like the old Spider-Man J. Jonah Jameson
They totally did.
and they turned it to fucking Omni-Man with J.K. Simmons' voice.
He totally is. Oh! I was wondering why he seemed so familiar, and he had like a sweet spot in my heart. Now it all makes sense. They needed, like, organ music on the background, you know when Spider-Man's like running through the scenes, it's like
Yeah,
it's like a fucking Doors video.
They completely took old fucking J. Jonah Jameson.
So
Amazing.
in closing, you love Invincible.
Invincibles, I was completely turned around, like 180, 100%. Now I want more. Now I don't think it's like I'm into cartoons like crazy right now, because I haven't delved into the new Star Wars cartoon that's
The Bad Batch.
Yeah, I haven't
Bad Batch.
watched
good.
Bad Batch, no. But
Martin will tell you everything.
but
you
I
need to know.
loved Invincible, and I liked the angle that they're coming from, and it's super interesting.
It is a really good lesson in, like, make a good story. This is what'll happen, right? And writing comics, you're so confined to sections and pages, and you got to take it quickly, otherwise, you're confined.
Yeah,
But
and it did harken back. Sorry, just one
Yeah,
last.
yeah,
It
yeah,
did
yeah.
harken back to the Spider-Man thing. I think that's where it hit me in the heart, is because it's the kid in high school discovering his powers and the awkwardness of being a teenager and having that responsibility at the same time. I think that's what really hooked me.
I
Was
like
that part?
I like the collateral damage from superheroes doing what they do, because that's something that doesn't get enough attention, and I like that realism.
Martin both of the things you just said were what Martin used in his sales pitch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I fucking owe you. I mean, I owe you Buffalo Trace. I would say I owe you Pappy Van Winkle, but Buffalo
That's like that's too many thousands of dollars, Mike. That's maybe not now.
me. I like to go big.
Pappy Van Wank?
Pappy Van Winkle,
Van Winkle.
Oh, okay.
like the bourbon.
Oh, the bourbon.
There is no other
Oh, okay.
bourbon besides Pappy. But yeah, no. After that, now I'm crushing Castlevania. Now the algorithm on Netflix is bringing up all of this animation that I just love.
Watch the Dragonlance animated movie.
Yeah, that's on my feed.
It's fucking,
Actually, I was gonna also Blood of Zeus. When you're done Castlevania, Blood of Zeus is next, because the same animation studio that did Castlevania and Masters of the Universe did Blood of Zeus, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
One season.
I'm chewing through Castlevania, like, I can't get enough of it, and it's shorter, but it packs a lot into it, and it's a great, like, I mean, it's the take on the video game, Rob, and it's also, it expands in the universe and makes Dracula and his army.
and it makes whips cool again.
It does make whips very fucking cool again. Belmont, I love Belmont.
There's a subsection of Reddit that would disagree with you, Rob. Whips never came out of style.
But yeah, I love the.
Do you remember that app where you like took your phone, went like this, and it did the whip sound?
Yeah, iPhone 4.
Like when
we all had one.
the first iPhone came out, and
Yeah,
look
back
what I can do. Look,
when-
it's making popcorn.
when
Yeah.
when Big Bang Theory was cool, like around season 3.
Look, I'm drinking a soda.
Or you're doing the paper toss.
Hey, that was
into
early
the-
AR, bro.
Yeah. Which
Early AR.
fart app do you like the best?
I still use my
Way
my
to go-
part
way to
app
go,
from time
iPhone.
to time.
So, besides Castlevania, I got into Mayor of Easttown last night. That's the new Kate Winslet show on HBO.
Oh,
First of all, it's a miniseries, so it's perfect. Right?
Well, I
Is
like,
it, does that mean it's done after one season?
You got it.
I like that. I
so
like
it's
having
not
a-
technically one season; it is one miniseries.
It's one miniseries, exactly.
I like the miniseries. It's not done enough.
Miniseries model, HBO is perfected. It's in the same, I would say this is in the same vein as The Outsider or The Night of, if anybody has seen those.
There's also the one with Young Pope. What's his name?
Jude Law.
Jude Law has
That
one.
Young Pope was good.
Day 3, it's called.
Yes, you
or-
watched it, didn't you?
Fuck, it's a mind fuck.
Yeah. No, I tried to get into it.
6 episodes. It's a mind fuck. Don't watch it if you're feeling a little unstable.
Like Requiem for a Dream kind of shit.
It's not quite like me being in the fetal position halfway through the movie, but yeah, it's a little bit of a mind fuck.
But so Kate Winslet is a detective, a rough and rugged detective from a Pennsylvania town. She's got that
Scranton accent.
that like fuck. I wish I could do it. This isn't what I want.
Come on, Mike, do an accent.
Do the accent.
Ooh, like it's just
Stop
this,
talking, please.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
What was that?
I don't know.
Ooh,
It's
I
what
do.
Pressure looks like.
Is that how you call a cab in Pittsburgh or what? Like,
you get over here. You. Is she just?
is
like,
that common? Is that common language in the steel forge in the east side of Pittsburgh?
What were you trying to do?
this American Pennsylvanian accent?
From Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Is it Philly accent or is it Pittsburgh? Because
It's-
there's two distinct regions.
It's
in
like a
Pennsylvania.
fucking
Or-
hybrid of both.
Or is it banjo?
no.
Is
We're
it,
not in-
is it some Boston?
That was in
Is it some
Pennsylvania.
Boston in there?
We're not in the Appalachians, first
Wait
of
a
all.
minute.
The
Where my
Appalachians
khakis?
do go through Pennsylvania,
Okay.
motherfucker.
All
Know your
right.
geography.
Fine. Point is, she plays a
It's
detective.
just not Oxycontin country like West Virginia.
Although this is more meth country because meth is involved. Anyway, she plays the local detective in a small town in Pennsylvania with a fucked up accent I can't do. She's got a shit ton of problems. She's a grandmother at 45.
Wow.
She's got a daughter who's kind of on the outs with. Her mom lives with her. And then on the heels of a murder that she hasn't been able to solve in a year, a new murder happens. And that's the
Sounds
whole
like
plot
a
of the
Stephen
show.
King book.
It's very Stephen King. It's very mind-bending.
But it's not in the state of Maine.
No, it's not.
It's very close though.
Yeah, just like those mountains. So like it intersects between two different sets of characters. There's this awkward relationship she has with her ex-husband, who he lives right next door. In
What's the
another house.
juxtaposition with Salem?
Like, how would I put Salem into this?
No,
Oh,
I'm
all right.
just being a loser.
Long story short, Kate Winslet is fucking killing it. Guy Pearce plays the love interest.
Oh,
that I
sweet.
had no idea.
I love
he
Guy
was,
Pearce.
Who doesn't? And they've he's gone silver fox. Like he's getting
yeah.
the thinning hairline, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
still a handsome fucker. She's amazing in it. The only thing, I've only chewed through 2 episodes so far, but I'm gonna kill it because I love it. It's a whodunit. It's a you've met all the characters. One of them has done something wrong, and each it's like the director told each character to play mysterious, so that you never knew what character did this new crime.
So they all wear baubles on their head, like upturned. Oh, mysterious, not Mysterio. My bad.
Wrong universe.
They all wear snow globes on their head.
Why do they all have fish bowls on their head?
It was like I got Shauna into it.
What's the show called again?
Mayor of Easttown.
And it's on Crave.
It's on Crave.
You know what? Somebody else told me to watch that.
That would be HBO Max in
actually.
the U.S.
The only question or the only comment I have so far is there's a lot of characters. Like it is heavy. They could have cut a couple of them.
Like Game of Thrones characters. Level?
Getting there.
Wow.
Like not that far. Like I think there's 8 or 12 somewhere in between there that are constantly involved in the storyline.
That's cool.
So we were sitting here going like,
Sounds like Succession almost.
it's very HBO, right? It's
love it.
Pay attention. We're not going to give
Does
you
Sorkin
everything.
write this?
No, I don't know who wrote it. I don't know anybody who's involved in making it. I think this is everybody's first crack
Cool.
at something. But if you're looking for a good miniseries, and Kate Winslet, whatever accent she does, she nails it. Everybody has
Ooh,
to.
hello.
Oh, hello.
Boots. I don't give up.
But to take it back to the miniseries, I think there's a lot of shows that made the mistake of wanting to be like a multi-season show when they should have just from the start made a miniseries. Yeah. And because you have you have a beginning, you have an end. You know you need to get to the end by the end of the however many episodes, and you follow that arc. The problem is that a lot of these shows, they don't know if they're going to get picked up after the first season. They just keep you hanging. Like there's no arc. They don't want to completely close it, and they turn into these like this rocky road of bullshit.
They also want the sweet syndication cash, and that usually requires 100 episodes.
But I've watched. So Prime is horrible for this.
or 50
Amazon
for an hour.
has
Long.
one season of 15 different shows. Like they make a whole shit ton of shows at the same time, and nothing gets picked up for a second season. But nothing closes, right?
You're stuck with.
Like I hated. I loved Utopia on fucking Amazon. It was so.
Yeah.
And then they just fucking left me hanging.
No, they
Like, just make that a miniseries. Have the end. Fucking get me there, and I'll be happy.
Well, and a lot of those are all straight to Prime, right? These ones that you're like Utopia is Prime, Brave New World is Prime. That one got canceled.
But you're
too.
your own worst enemy, right?
Yeah.
They release
I agree.
15 series in a year. Like, how are any of them going to get the viewership? I don't know. There's too many ones that I've started, and I'm like, it's done.
There's a series that happened like that back in the day when TV got 22 episodes a season right out the gate. Like, you didn't even wait for the pilot to tell you what to do. You just made 22.
A girl, a guy in a pizza shop.
No. This
Pizza
was
place.
This was a
My bad.
ripoff. This was a play on a late night sketch comedy show that was based on SNL, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and because they had so many episodes, what you're talking about, Rob, Mark, is that it faded into oblivion nicely because it had such a long arc.
Sounds like Walking Dead.
I think if you're going to go for another season, you need to finish. Like, the cliffhanger when you haven't been picked up is don't fucking pull
It's
that
a bad
shit.
model.
No.
It's such a bad model.
No, don't make a
You're not-
cliffhanger
you're
when
not
you haven't been
fucking
picked up for a
you're not
second
fucking
season.
Dallas.
And that's what Utopia did.
Yeah. No.
Fuck off.
It really, and you get a bunch of execs in a room who are like, "This is gonna fucking take off," and then the streaming numbers show up, and you're like, maybe we overshot.
But you know what? Sometimes
this.
I appreciate it, and that's the one thing I like about HBO is they'll make a show and they'll do a season, and it doesn't do well, but they believe in the show and they give it another season and another season, and then all of a sudden it actually picks up traction and people go back to it. How I Met Your Mother is a great example of that on actual network television, where it actually didn't start getting decent numbers until season 3 or 4, and people went back, and part of the reason behind that was DVD sales.
And
'Cause
HBO was good at that, and I think that's where Amazon has made a big mistake.
Well, maybe them buying MGM will make them more media focused than ever before.
Yeah.
Martin, what about you on your HBO edification?
I mean, HBO's all. I've never seen like any recommendation I get from HBO. I've always liked them. I mean, from The Wire,
Fucking-
Game of Thrones, the first few seasons were good. What else was good? Oh, The Leftovers. I just watched that recently. That's an amazing show. I'm late to that party, but it's fucking good.
Succession, have you watched that yet?
I just started. I like it. I'm on season 1, episode 2, I think, or 3.
HBO. Like, well,
Sopranos.
Sopranos, Six
Sopranos.
Under,
6 Feet Under is great.
all great shows.
6 Feet Under breaks me. I can watch that. I've watched it. I think I've watched it tail to tip like 3 times at least. Like in the background, never really paying
Is
attention.
it tip to
but
tail or tail to tip?
it is what I want it to fucking be.
Is it weird to go back and watch it now with Dexter playing? Is it weird when you see a character and you can't think of them as somebody else?
Right? It's only Michael from. Is it Michael? What's his name? No, David. It's David from 6 Feet Under.
David always
Yes.
seemed like he could be a psychopath, though.
He
Yeah.
really had a
Like,
lot of.
you know what I
bent-up
mean? Like,
Yeah, twisted side.
it's weird how like the two characters almost have some parallels.
100%.
It was like they're born in the same universe. Like he just left the funeral industry to go be a serial killer. That's a universe I want. Where the
Martin,
fuck's my
Martin, you
phone?
gonna continue to talk about HBO?
What are we gonna talk about HBO?
What other shows that you like?
What else? Sopranos, I really liked. I've always been like a fan of gangsters. Boardwalk Empire as well. That was fucking great. What else?
Boardwalk
was
Empire is underrated.
I love Boardwalk. Steve Buscemi was great in it.
Was Peaky Blinders HBO?
No.
No,
That's it's UK, right? BBC or something? Is that BBC?
I feel like it's Stars. No, it's not Stars.
Bit of Stars? It's
No,
on Netflix.
it's on Netflix though.
Oh,
I don't know.
remember which one
It's
put it out.
I haven't seen it, but I love Cillian Murphy.
But True Detective season 1 also like fucking amazing.
Detectives, yes.
The first season is fucking, and that's a good
It was
example.
so good the first. See, give me a storyline. Give me right.
But the second season, it's not a continuation. It's
No,
a
I
separate
know. It's
story.
horrible.
It's but the second season wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't good. And then I haven't actually watched the third season because the second season I didn't like that
The
much.
thing is I love Colin Farrell, and I was hoping it was going to be so good, and it just was a little bit of a letdown.
They
The
kept,
third season was okay.
Pardon?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the third season. Mahershala Ali does a good job as the main character in this one, in the third season.
They
I'll
are.
give it a go.
They have been letting him back at it, but he wrote all of those episodes by himself for 3 years. I think HBO burnt him out. And I can't remember his name for the life
You
of
also
me right
need
now,
more Woody.
But
I love Woody.
first of all,
Well, that was capturing lightning in a bottle with those two
But-
at first.
Yeah.
there is a reason for that, Mark, and it is mostly because they are friends off camera. So you're getting a thing. You're getting lightning in a bottle because you've got bros, right?
Yeah.
You've
I
got
hope McConaughey becomes governor of Texas. That'll be hilarious.
that. Yeah, I mean, he runs a soccer team. Who says he can't run the state? But to your point though, like it.
All right, all right, all right.
If he just says that as when he casts his vote, that would just be the best. All right, all right, all right. Bill C-34. Lightning in a bottle for True Detective Season 1. True Detective Season 2 just was too ambitious, I think. And that's what really, because
Did you like Vince Vaughn in it?
everybody was trying to do this film noir thing that just really wasn't cutting it. Like they tried to go really CDLA.
It reminded me of a movie. Have you ever seen a movie called City of Industry with Harvey Keitel?
No.
It reminded me kind of that for some reason. But anyway,
It's just like it was such a big, and like the spaghetti monster or the green faced monster, and like that first season just pulled you through this dark underbelly of the South, and that long take one shot that they do when he's running out of the motorcycle, like all of those
well,
things.
also them jumping 20 years. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's so good about that. A
Right.
True Detective.
And I didn't catch it. Well, I mean, you caught it when Woody's character, you didn't catch it until he stood up from the table and you could see the big gut, and then you look and you saw the silver in his hair. But McConaughey was like, I do my drinking during the day.
Yeah, the
You're not
jumping
going
back
to
and
interrupt
forth, they underestimated how important to the success of that 1st season the jumping back and forth between the present and past was, and then they didn't do that in the 2nd season.
Yeah.
That, they should have kept
because
that
I think some
as
people
part
do-
of the.
I think there's a certain segment of the population that doesn't like the jumping back and forth. Like for instance, Michelle.
You mean the dumb people? See, I started to say that, and then you said Michelle, and I'm like, fuck, why did he have to say that?
Are you calling my wife dumb?
No, I was saying it before you said her name.
Wow.
It was just a mistimed statement.
The impatient people, the people who don't like Chrissy hates it.
I want right now.
I don't know.
Explain it to me.
You know what? And Michelle likes to know what's going to happen in the movie at the beginning of the movie, and I'm always like, just let it unfold, right? And everyone's a little bit different. I get that some people they want to know what the destination is, and then they can like let the journey happen. I don't want to know the end, and I still just want the journey to happen.
Yeah.
But everyone's different, right? So
I thought with the 2nd season they just focused. They had too many characters, is what I thought. They didn't have the kind of the 2-person system that I liked in the first one, because that you really fall in love with the relationship between Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson on screen. Like
100%.
that's what catches you in. But this one, there was just 4 main characters, and you're just like, it was too much back and forth. And I'm like, I don't really care about any of these characters. I mean, Colin Farrell's character it was the one that interested me the most, but everyone else was like, do I really care?
yeah, Rachel McAdams' character was good, but I feel like they didn't explore her character enough.
Yeah, they needed a little bit more to tell us why she was so hard as nails. I think would have made
Like
me,
you needed more of the backstory kind of behind it.
because we had backstory for everybody except her. Really,
That's
like,
a common gripe, though, is that I if I don't care about the character, no matter how good your story is, if you have right, that was my number one fucking complaint about Justice League. Like, I didn't give a shit about the characters, and then in the fucking Snyder cut, now I care about Cyclops.
Yeah, fair point.
He means something to me. That's all you had to do. You gotta give me a reason. That's why I couldn't get into Breaking Bad to begin with, because I didn't give a fuck that he had cancer, because I didn't care about him. But once you got to the point where you cared about the character, but then you're like, okay, now you can introduce the big problem, because now I care about the protagonist,
well,
right?
you humanize them.
Yeah,
You
I need
give
that
them something-
backstory. I need something to hook me. I need to care if that person lives or dies.
Say something like in Westworld, where they give you a cornerstone for
Yeah.
your entire story. You need a cornerstone for your character.
Exactly.
No, that's like, I mean, I don't know fuck sweet all about writing, but that seems like a writing 101. Like, get your audience to care about your character. The rest will fall into place. If I
100%.
don't give a shit, then fuck it. So as mentioned before we started this, we had some questions, and I know we're clearly not going to get into everything we're going to get into today, which is no fucking problem.
Mike, you're just gonna have to edit a lot.
I feel like Martin
know.
didn't tell us what he was watching though.
I did. Didn't I start?
Yeah.
Predestination. I told you to put it Ethan Hawke.
Fuck man, this conversation's been so long that I'm just
You just had so many.
It's been awesome.
Not enough Ritalin.
No, yeah. This section of the show is brought to you by Rob and not enough.
What's with like the two jokes about me taking Ritalin and Adderall? I take fucking offense to that shit.
So the list of I anticipated one. I was like, I'll post this, and I'm sure friends of the show
Do you
will
got
see.
any?
I do. I didn't make them up either. These are from real people. 'Cause
Just,
I was like,
some Concerta.
I was talking about the Ritalin and the Adderall.
oh, I'm just one step behind you, buddy. So the first request came from someone we did an episode with, me and Martin. We did Eversnack with Stefan and Sheena, and they wanted us to talk about adult cinema. And I thought, well, what better way to talk about adult cinema than to maybe openly admit about the first porn you saw and what was the story in
Jesus.
said porn.
Is this the surprise?
This is one of the surprises.
Oh.
So surprise number one is your first porno. Martin, what was your first porno?
I don't even remember, man. Like it was my dad's probably or something you got at a bachelor party. It's VHS. I found it, one of the old VHS tapes, put it in. I mean, I honestly don't remember the title. I just know it belonged to my father.
What was the plot?
I don't know. It was something. I didn't even remember what it was the first time. It was the first time I was seeing sex on screen. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? I was more interested in like the different angles. Like, how did they get the camera in that position? Like, what is going on here?
What's the mise en scène of this?
Fair enough. And we'll go through these quick because we don't need to dissect these,
Okay.
but we will definitely allow.
Mike, how about you go?
How about I go? It's called
Yeah.
Geranal Park.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was called Geranal Park.
Wow, I can't believe you remember the name.
I did steal
Your
it.
first porno was in '95 or like '98.
You didn't watch a porn until after Jurassic Park was out?
No,
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
he's younger than you, dude.
well, yeah, okay.
Jurassic Park was
No.
92.
I don't know. My first porn was probably made in the 70s.
See, I didn't have parents who had that stuff, so I did what Martin did.
Abe?
That you know of.
Step carefully around the parent shots there. I had God-fearing parents.
They didn't have butt plugs and porn.
Yeah, my house.
Fucking
Lube
shoelaces.
was spit. None of this fancy tasty shit.
I had parents who either knew where to hide it or didn't have it at all, so I jacked it off of my buddy's dad and took it home, and it was
You
a copy.
jacked it off your buddy's dad.
Pun intended. Yeah,
I heard he jacked off his buddy's dad.
that's how I got the tape.
Rusty
That's-
trombone
yeah.
in exchange.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think the lead character wasn't even like Dr. Allen or Ellie. Like, it was the guy who chases after the raptors. Like, he was the lead, and like every time a raptor came into the scene, they fucked. That's like the one thing I remember. And I had
Fuck
to
the
really
raptor?
no, not the raptor.
Did the Raptors watch? Like, you know how
Is this a furry video?
Like
Jesus.
two guys dressed in dinosaur suits, like watching. No, this is like the early '90s, like probably or easily. It's easily the same year because that was around the time when like every.
I don't know if I'd want cunnilingus from a raptor.
You wouldn't like those. Nothing about that says good time, but it was right around the time when porn titles were really like Edward.
They were all
Penis
they were all
Hands.
parodies.
They were all parodies, right? It was like it was the thing to do because you'd play so close to it because it was popular, but you didn't have to pay.
Star
for the rights.
whores.
Thank you. Exactly.
Edward Dildo Hands.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Or
Could you imagine that many dildos coming at you? Throw a little bukkake in there, and you're like, "Whoa, that's a mix."
mix and then top it off with a tentacle, and you got a good
I
time.
was going to say that seemed very Japanese. Fucking hentai.
So yeah, Geranal Park
Edward.
It's called animated erotica, Mark. The politically correct term.
Not to be confused with interspecies erotica. Bestiality. Interspecies erotica.
Rob, bring us home here before we hit the mark.
I don't remember the exact title, but it was my friends in junior high. We would go to my buddy Dean's house for lunch, and he had an older brother, and he stumbled on his porn collection.
'Kay.
So we watched a porno in his kitchen because there was a VCR there.
As one
And I remember eating a pizza pop while
Was
watching.
it a 2-in-1 TV VCR?
No. I think it was a 13-inch candle TV.
But hang on,
with
who
a sophisticated forehead high five
Oh.
VCR.
Can I ask Rob a question? Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, which pop first, the pizza pop or you?
You know what the funny thing is, when you watch a porn with like a bunch of your buddies in junior high, and you're all like, kind of like, doing like the pants, kind of like.
Hide your boner.
It's kind of like, have you ever had an erection on the bus and you're just like, wow, that kind of came out of nowhere. And then you're like, fuck, my stop's coming up. And you're like, unsexy thoughts, unsexy thoughts.
There is
unsexy
nothing on a bus that gets me aroused.
You obviously didn't ride a bus when you were 12.
Margaret Thatcher on a cold day.
I didn't know I was going to be attacked for sharing personal
I'm not
information and
attacking.
experiences.
I'm just
Did you put the binder to your crotch area when you were getting up?
Yeah, you do like one of those, or you do one of those. Where
the old fucking Hilroy.
Yeah, or you,
Yeah, the Hilroy.
or the boner in the waistband move.
Get your old fucking plaid pencil case and
The boner in the waistband move is a real thing.
I just want to call my dick Hilroy now.
the tuck up.
The tuck up.
The tuck up. Is that the technical term? Yeah, okay.
The
tuck
up,
up.
the up tuck.
I refer to it as the boner in the waistband maneuver. I guess that mine's a
the
little
old boner.
mine's a little wordy.
The old BOWB.
You see here, pull the old bone in the waistband.
Hey, was that the Pennsylvania accent?
Almost. Oh, just a little off. Just a head, a smidge to I don't know, Steeltown. All right, Mark, take us home.
Belonged to my uncle. It was called on VHS. Called Peepholes.
Did it have big muffs?
It was from it have to have been from the 70s. It's basically a sleazy hotel. There was the caretaker of it, and he had passages between, like, behind the walls of the different rooms where he had drilled out holes, and he could watch people's lives.
Were any of the holes in the eyes of like a portrait?
I don't think so. It wasn't that cheesy, but so it kind of takes place of that. There's people that get wrapped up in this whole drug thing, and he's watching the thing play out, and obviously lots of sex and stuff, and then it goes through the whole series of that somebody gets wrapped up in this drug trade thing, and then ends up. The last scene is in the apartment where the guy comes to collect on the debt or something.
Oh, he comes.
And an errant shot from a gun from one of the gangsters goes into the wall of the apartment, and it ends up killing the guy who's behind the wall jerking off through the peephole.
Oh, he died jerking off.
Yeah. So it actually had a plot.
No shit.
Yeah.
Would dying pre-boner be like considered a good thing?
I don't know.
Is that a goal? Is that a goal for some
It was
people?
kind of in the day where pornographic movies were sort of cinematic, like not around the sort of the deep throat era where you actually saw movies like make it to the theater.
Well, it was pre-VCR, so you actually had to go to the theater and sit there with like 20 other people that were like silently jerking off, like, five.
Just all you hear is like the rubbing of clothing.
It's kind of like
sitting.
when you go to the regular cinema and there's a quiet scene, you hear people eating popcorn, but in that one you hear like, anyway.
You hear the zip and the sweater moving.
You know that there's a guy who's wearing fucking wind pants somewhere in there.
The funny thing is the
keep it down in the front.
When you have to unzip your pants, it's similar to when you sneak like a canned pop into a movie theater and you're trying to like quietly open the canned pop, but it's impossible. It'd be like unzipping your zipper. You're trying to do it quiet, but it's just gonna be loud.
It's and the quieter you do, the louder it gets.
The guy in the
100%.
trendsetter wind pants that are up in the front row.
Or the guy that wore corduroys.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's
Pace setter. That's the brand I'm trying to think of.
Setter.
Thank you.
Tracksuits.
Thank you to Eversnack for sending us the first question that we ever asked for. That was fun. We do have more. We'll try to get to them. So let's move into shoulda, coulda, woulda. And the question I wanted to ask everybody was, and this is inspired by
I feel like this is the rapid fire round.
Nah, we're getting there. Yeah, you could. I mean, whatever. However you feel.
Zip.
I did. Not that kind of show, guys. So I just took first aid for work.
Okay.
So I'm like ready to go. And
Did you make it with the Annie doll? Like
yeah.
did you have to do the CPR and on the doll and the thing?
Yeah, I had to blow into the bag and do
Yeah.
the pat thing and all that stuff. So whatever, all good and well. But then they start teaching you about naloxone.
Naloxone.
Naloxone,
That's
yeah.
if you're having an opiate overdose.
Exactly. And then I was like, oh, well,
Narcan.
Mia Wallace almost had an opioid overdose in Pulp Fiction. And I was like,
She wasn't doing opioids. It was cocaine.
no, it was heroin.
No, it was heroin.
Heroin. That's right.
Because she
I
snorted
thought it was cocaine.
That's right. She thought it was cocaine. Sorry.
Exactly. So I thought, hey,
That'll get you.
Didn't he put pure epinephrine directly into her heart?
yes,
Yep.
exactly what I'm about to ask you. Look at you and your fucking brain. So, shoulda, coulda, woulda. The whole premise of this is, if you're first time listening, is should you do it, would you do it, or could you do it? So I figured let's take would to make it nice and short and sweet today. So
Would you do it?
not would you do it, would you be able to do exactly what went down in that situation, Rob, without it,
Like snort that much heroin?
no, not snort that much. I guess I should have phrased this better. Would you be
Which part of that?
Which part of the scene? Because
yeah, we got some fun stuff in there too. No, could you pull off what Vincent Vega didn't go through at all? Stab her in the heart. Real life versus real life. Do you think in a situation like that you would rise to the occasion and have to tuck it in your waistband?
Yes.
Why?
I've always been the kind of person that when somebody is hurt or there's those kind of things, I feel like I'm the run into the situation person, and I think in that moment, as much as I don't like needles delivered to myself or watching blood extracted from me, I don't have any problem jabbing something into somebody else. But yeah, no, I think I could do it.
Like, have you ever been in a like? I'm not calling you out. I'm just curious. Have you ever been in a situation like that where, like,
Not to that.
like a highly
not that
medically charged situation?
Not to that degree, but I mean, there's been situations where I've gone to somebody's aid and gotten their blood on me and those kind of things. I mean, I took a lot of life saving as a kid, and had a small little short stint as like was planning on trying to be a lifeguard, and then got the certification, then was like, I don't want to.
Fuck this.
I don't want to do that job. It's too much responsibility. I want to smoke weed and go work at McDonald's.
Sure, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll go next because I came up with this fucker. Would I be able to? I don't think I would, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I like it. One of these incidents happened at work where a guy had a heart attack, but he was still like half with it, so he was fighting off the help. And I wasn't directly involved in it. I was just watching it. So I got to play this whole thing over in my head and again and be like, well, what if that happened? What if this happened? And I think about that situation and like the strength that it took to pin this person down. Like, I'm not the kind of person who runs into the burning building. Like, I have a stepfather who was a fireman, and I'm just enthralled by the stories. But then I'm like,
So
fuck
you
this
took
shit.
first aid, but you don't think you could?
I took first aid because I wanted to be able to be, first of all, I took first aid because they needed people at work to do first aid. The odds of which me getting involved, work is so hyper-focused on getting outside help that they just want someone there who can lean over the situation.
Fair enough.
So I didn't take it because I wanted to have it, but at the same time, it's great to have because it has come in handy. I've cut myself, and I you know how to close a stitch or something if you have to, right? Like that kind of shit.
Stitched yourself?
I crazy glued it shut. Same thing. So
Know how to bandage a sucking chest wound.
yes, all that shit. But like the straight up like breathing for somebody and stuff like that, I don't think I would be able to focus myself in enough to be able to just like jam that fucking. I'd miss. I'd nail her in the fucking clavicle or something. Like I just know myself well enough. Would I be a bystander and help? Sure. I'd go get water. I'd go get towels. But like, I really don't think
I'd film the Instagram live video.
Yes, you get what I'm saying, right? Anyways, yeah, that's my. I don't think I would. Martin, would you be able to master the?
A question. I needed a little bit of clarification before I answer the question. Do I have to do 3 stabbing motions or is it just 1?
You get the exact like for like, buddy. Same scenario.
I think I would do it simply out of fear. Because I mean, you're Vincent Vega. Look, if you don't do it, his wife basically dies, and Marcellus Wallace is a pretty nasty person. Whatever is gonna happen after that, I'm gonna try to save her. I have to, out of fear alone. Like, he threw a dude out of a building for giving his wife a foot massage. Do you imagine what he's gonna do to you if you let his wife die?
That was also in my line of thinking too. Was here if you're Vincent, you have to do something because you you took her out for a $5 milkshake. Like you gotta, like you're involved and you're the reason you're at
How
this
much
house.
is that milkshake in today's money?
I don't know, with inflation.
Oh, that's for sure $18. Would tip like 23.
But yeah, no, you've got a problem with Marcellus Wallace after the fact, because either you don't do anything and he's like, what the fuck was she doing in this drug den, or you do something and it goes completely like you've got to do something. I guess that's an interesting take on it.
Was it a drug den? I feel like it was very clean for a drug den.
Yeah, but they couldn't find the kit because it was buried in that room with all that shit they were hoarding.
It wasn't that much shit.
It was not an organized room.
Eric Stoltz seemed too clean cut to be running a drug den.
All right, so Rob thinks he can because you have the confidence. I don't think I can because I just know how spastic I can get.
Mm-hmm.
Martin's doing it life or death because Wallace is going to fuck you up if you don't do anything. Mark,
Yes.
what do you think? Would you be
Yes.
able to?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I do.
he-
I don't have an interesting story behind it. I get shit done when shit needs to get done.
Oh,
Yeah, he
all
doesn't
right.
need a fucking mustache to be awesome. He's Mark.
I like kind of want to see him in a mustache.
No, I'm just when
And-
shit gets real, I'm a person that steps up and just gets shit done.
Mhm.
I admire that. I wish I.
I'm that person telling you to grab fucking hot water and towels, and you're just going and getting them.
Mark's the kind of guy in a shootout. He's taking the bullets, man.
And I've done I've been in not plunging a needle, but I've had somebody like dying on me, and I tried to save their life, and they didn't.
Mhm.
So I've been in that situation, and I know I've done it. So
Interesting.
yeah,
So
I had somebody have a heart attack in front of me, and I gave them CPR, and they didn't make it.
That's shit.
Oh man,
Yeah.
That's hard.
I'm sorry if this brought shit up.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying I know I do it because I did it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's okay. That's great. So like,
How does
you're just
everybody?
ultra focused and locked in because I
Yeah.
can't.
You take your emotion out of it. You just here's the fucking job at hand. Get it done.
I feel like it's almost muscle. It's almost like it's almost like a muscle memory thing.
It
at
is,
some point.
yeah.
It's almost like pure reactionary. It's almost like the certain level of thought is out of it, and it's just you're reacting.
Yeah,
It's almost pure flight or fight in that situation.
and yeah, I just have some fight or flight scenarios where I'm like, peace,
And dude, there's nothing
And-
wrong with that.
and yeah,
That's
Flight
your
flight is a great option.
yeah. You're a flying lizard brain.
Yeah.
okay, no, cool.
Yeah.
I like I said, like I was like, what should we talk about? Oh, this would be interesting. And lo and behold, I find out that you've tried to save somebody, and
I would like to see Mark with a mustache and wearing a jean jacket, jeans, and a jean shirt.
Wow, the Transcona tuxedo.
Mm-hmm.
has that
It's actually I'm referencing Family Guy.
okay? I only watch Invincible. It's the only animation Invincible.
You've never watched Family Guy?
I have, but I don't have it committed. Like I don't have moments
Chris,
of
Not all
I
24
woke up
seasons.
this morning
No,
and
like
put on my
yeah.
jeans, my jean shirt, and my jean jacket, and I watched the sunrise. Wow, Dad, mustache culture is cool. That's a great episode. That's also the one where he the McBurger Town is on fire, and the firefighters need somebody to hold the hose, and they're like, "That man has a mustache," yeah, and they hand him the hose, and then he runs inside, and then the mustache catches on fire and burns off, and then the McBurger Town owner gives him free burgers for life, and he eats so many burgers, and then he has a stroke.
Now, when you're telling that story, my mind just went to the Neil Patrick Harris's character in 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. The mustachery. You can't afford a mustache like this.
There needs to be more mustache references in everything.
So, do we want to let's get back into movies instead of talking about our life-saving skills here. Do you want to do this or that, or do you want to do Admit It? Because Admit It is Mark's new idea.
This or that first, and then we'll do Admit It.
Okay, all right. So
We got time.
We got time. We got time. So this or that is brought to you by
the Admit It. I have to
This
think about
or
for a
that.
minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this or that is simply which one did you like more, this one or that one? Because sometimes movie studios go, well, they're making a movie, and we'll make the same movie, but we'll do it better.
Oh, yes.
And then you have the same story, the same script. Paul Blart, Mall Cop, right? And Observe and Report,
Mm-hmm.
both laced in the same profession.
Deep Impact and
Armageddon. See what I'm getting at? Okay. Now, I never thought this, so I went through a list of them and was like, ooh, this one would be fun because I know Mark's affliction for it. I know Rob loves it. I know Martin loves it. We've seen both of them at least in some way, shape, or form.
I
so.
believe it's affinity, not affliction.
Yeah, affliction is. Thank you.
I also like affliction. Like they could go hand in hand.
They're good bedfellows.
Depends where your point of view is.
Thanks, Webster. So this week's This or That is Amityville Horror or The Shining.
Ooh.
You have burial grounds. You have possession. You have family history where people have been murdered. You have the DeFeos, and you have the keeper of the hotel.
You could almost
Shining.
throw Poltergeist into that mix too.
You could, yeah. It was just these were the two
Yeah.
that kind of like really came together. So Martin,
Can I admit something?
yeah,
I've never seen Amityville Horror.
No.
that's going to be even more fun because you're just going to sit staunchly over there and be like, "The Shining." So, the Amity. Do you know the story at all? I can give you the lay of the land here, just to give you some backdrop.
I probably do if you explain it, and I'll remember it. Is it based on true story?
It's based on true story.
Yeah.
It's based on the DeFeos. They were a family who came into money. They bought some car dealerships. They moved to Amityville, and the story goes that the son Ronnie heard voices, catch him, kill him, and the devil told him to kill his entire family. So he blows everybody to pieces, goes to jail, and then a new family moves in, and ever since then, no matter who's lived there, they've been haunted by the burial ground that's buried underneath it, which
I think
caused...
I've seen the remake of it. But
You've
not
seen the
original.
Ryan Reynolds version.
The Ryan
of it.
Reynolds version, but I've never seen the original from the 70s.
I'm not convinced that Amityville Horror has a burial ground. That's Poltergeist.
Yes, isn't
The-
Amityville like where there's bodies buried in the wall
No, Amityville is
or
just
the basement or something?
no. There's a room in the basement.
An alcove.
Yeah, a
A mud room.
A sump pump.
Is there a haunted
pits.
cellar?
a sauna, if you will. No,
s-
there's a room, but in the room is the guy who used to do experiments. Actually, in the new one, they did experiments on the indigenous people and then buried them there. And then those spirits were the ones that were haunting the house and convincing people, along with this guy, to kill whoever lived there.
It's
Loosely.
basically the house is evil.
The house is evil, just like the
And
house
it
is
fucks with people.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like those movies are mutually exclusive.
Well, hang on. What I'm talking about here, though, is this.
It's not like Armageddon and Deep Impact
Okay. Why?
because they didn't come out in the same year.
No, they totally didn't.
Okay, and all these other examples that we're giving, basically those movies came out within like six to 12 months of each other, right? And they have the same underlining genre and and basic storyline.
Okay. So you don't. This is
So
whatever
this
you
or that?
think. Yeah, this or that. Like which one? Now that you think you've seen one, no. But like,
But if I have to choose, it's fucking The Shining
It's The
because
Shining.
Kubrick's a fucking genius.
well, yeah, and I mean the underlying effects of Room 237. Have you seen that documentary?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen that documentary?
I haven't.
It's
Red
same
Rum.
guys. You know who it is? It's the same guys who did Glitch in the Matrix.
Red Room.
Red Rum. It's a documentary about how Kubrick was trying to explain a lot of different stories while using Shining. It's not really a horror story. So you choose Shining. Okay, fair enough. I can see the similarities, but I'll let Martin follow up with this one. Martin, what do you think between the two? Like, I'm not saying that you're comparing what you love about each one. I'm just saying which one gives the better version of that story, those components.
I'm gonna go as a better film. I would go Shining, but something that would scare me more. I think Amityville Horror probably scared me more.
You weren't scared in The Shining?
I was, but not as much as Amityville. Like I don't know. Maybe there's the fact that it took place in a big hotel and it was so spacious. I don't know. I wasn't as scared as I was in Amityville. But I saw them when I was older. Both films I saw when I was older. I didn't see them when I was younger.
Is your name Wendy, the wife?
Wendy's wife, yeah.
Wendy wielding the bat, backing up the staircase.
Yeah.
Wasn't bone chilling?
No, well, like I said, I didn't see it when I was younger. I saw it a lot older. Like I definitely wasn't as scared with these movies when I saw them as an adult.
How'd you know we call him Doc?
Red Rob. Red Rob.
Dr. Sleep was
Red
better.
Rob.
Mark,
Red Rob.
you've read Christy's read the book, or you've read the book?
She's read the books multiple times.
Okay, so and by proxy, you probably have more
By
information
proxy, I
about the
have more
books.
insight, yeah.
Okay, so just like I've said, not comparing movie quality because The Shining is obviously the better choice here. It is the better story, but
No, as
which
far as
one
a
is-
place,
Yeah.
place making you crazy, Amityville is more true to the genre, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the outlook is maybe too. Here it's going back to the making me care about somebody. I didn't give a shit about Jack Torrance in that movie. They didn't make me care about him before they show his decline.
Because he's not likable at all.
Right?
He's not likable
But
in the very first
book,
scenes.
in the book,
He
you
is.
like Jack Torrance. You care about him, and then when he starts going crazy, you see his descent into madness. So you actually care that it's a normal guy that loves his family that starts treating them differently. In the movie, you don't see him ever really treat his family good. So you don't
Yeah, he's a
see
piece
his
of shit.
decline, and I think they didn't establish that.
Do you think they assumed that because of the star power of Jack Nicholson,
Yeah,
that
they
you
did.
wouldn't require to have that because everyone would just go, "Oh, it's Jack Nicholson. We fucking love this guy."
But you want the rabbit hole on The Shining, just to bring it up?
Fuck yeah.
I stumbled on a detailed fan theory that it's actually not Jack that's going crazy, it's Wendy. And you're seeing it through her eyes. So when she thinks he's doing crazy stuff, she's actually the one going crazy and he's just doing normal things. And they actually go through the whole movie and show how Kubrick, they believe, used, like, when you're seeing it through her eyes, there's pieces of the set that are missing that are there in other shots, and they think he actually did that to give you, like, through her eyes.
I'm watching that movie.
Like when
I'm
he's
watching that
like when
movie
he's
again,
sitting
too.
typing in the giant room and she goes down and starts talking to him and he snaps at her.
Yeah.
The scenes where it's like through her eyes is there's pieces missing in the set that you see at other times. And they actually say, like, when he's frozen in the outside in the maze, there's no way that's one night. Like, she's actually killed him for days, and it's in her mind that he's frozen out. It's really kind of interesting. It actually makes the movie better to me if I look at through those eyes.
Wow, that's blowing
Like
my
when
mind
he's
right now.
when he's
Yeah, I
breaking down
agree.
the door, he's just trying to get in, and she's the one actually losing it. But that's how she sees him trying to get into the room.
You know, and they always talk about how he ran her ragged and wouldn't let her sleep and would wake her up at all hours of the night and film and be like, "Get on set now." And it almost.
So what if the outlook drove her mad?
Oh man, that changes everything. Fuck you.
Or
Fuck you and your deep
or
dive.
maybe she was already on the verge before they even
Right?
went up there, and that just pushed her over the
She
edge.
acts crazier in the movie than he does, even.
And those eyes.
Yeah.
You know, another fun reason that I like The Shining too is that they use stock footage from The Shining at the end of Blade Runner.
Which scenes?
The very end where he and where Deckard and Sean Young's character, I'm brain farting right now, they flee, and at the very end it shows them driving through those cinematic hills and stuff like that. The green
Oh, and
hills.
Oh,
that's
that's The Shining.
that's stock footage from The Shining.
That's really fucking cool.
Oh, where they're
that's-
driving up to the outlook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's in the original like theatrical release, so that's not in the director's cut or the extended version.
I mean, just to your point, Mark, Dr. Sleep was
I
probably one of the best follow-ups.
Haven't seen it,
Oh,
and I
very
need
good.
to because I love Ewan McGregor.
Yeah,
dig
that's
it,
good.
dig it for sure. Get on it. It plays with the universe. It expands on it. It incorporates some things that as soon as you see them, you're like, thank you for doing that.
Is Ewan McGregor the little boy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured. Did you just ruin the movie for me?
No. No. My
No,
mom.
it's laid it out right at the beginning.
alert!
Yeah, they get pretty up.
Okay.
They it's not hard to follow. My
Did they
mom's
call,
been
did,
to the.
Did they call him Dr. Sleep because they called him Doc in the original?
I can't remember. Mark, is that?
I don't know why where the title gets.
I thought it was when he was working at that hospice. The people would call him doctor, and then they would always put him to sleep. He was the one putting them to sleep.
Yeah.
First guy.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Nice call.
I assumed that he was doing like Michael Jackson kind of like, put to sleep kind of shit. No?
Wasn't
Okay.
Dropping it in their wine.
No, that's
No,
not
I
what
thought he
meant.
meant
No,
like
no, no,
the
no,
doctor
no.
Oh,
that fucking
The doctor that puts Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
fentanyl.
anesthetize him every night.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody who talks about
Why-
Michael Jackson
why-
goes to the one thing.
why
Don't
does it-
fucking blame me.
Why does it gotta go with pedophilia, man?
Because that's what we all know him for.
And Thriller.
Dude, Thriller.
And Thriller.
Beat it.
Oh, I heard this joke.
Oh.
I heard
The
this.
moonwalk.
Okay, I know the next thing I'm going to say is inappropriate.
Okay.
I'm going to mindfully say it. Heard this joke the other day. Say what you will about pedophiles, but at least they drive slowly through those school zones, unlike those other people.
Wow. And now, is it pedophile or pedophile?
Depends.
It's
what
peta
side of the
because-
pond you're on.
Yeah. It also depends on if you're a.
In the UK, they're pedophiles.
It's kind of like aunt and aunt.
That's or jubes and jujubes. That kind of mispronunciation.
Haven't you seen the IT crowd? The British IT crowd? Have you ever watched the IT crowd?
The IT crowd is the British one is
fucking amazing
fucking
show.
hilarious.
I'm admitting that I have not seen that show.
There's a dude on it whose name's Peter File, and in an English accent, he's like, "Pedophile."
It's written on purpose.
It's amazing.
It's like Big Falcon Rocket.
What streaming service is that on?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah,
It's on Netflix. It
I
is.
need to change my algorithm.
It's like Freaks and Geeks and the IT cloud. That whole era there.
I love Freaks and Geeks.
I want to introduce a new segment in honor of Mark because in the chat group this one surprised us all, and then it was like, and then you just said
It hurt my
new
brain.
topic. So we were all
I was disgusted.
Rob, you want to lead us in on this one? You can explain it.
So, there's always monumental movies that everybody has seen, and when you're hanging out with your friends and you're referencing things from these movies and jokes from these movies and those kind of things, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah," but secretly, maybe in the back of your mind, you're saying to yourself, "But I haven't seen it. I've just read a synopsis online just to have enough to seem cool when the topic comes up, but really you haven't." And this segment is called
Admit it. So
You gotta have a sound effect in there. somewhere.
there will be one day. When
You can handle the truth.
admit it.
Have you seen A Few Good Men?
Yeah.
Have you seen A Few Good Men?
Of course.
Have you seen A Few
Who
Good
has it? Come on now. Come on, who are you talking to?
I haven't seen it. No, I'm just kidding.
Martin's seen more than A Few Good Men.
I'm surprised Mark's seen it. Tom Cruise.
True. Yeah. No.
And
hey,
Nicholson trumps Cruise.
that's true. Yeah, probably in height and stature and,
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah.
acting caliber alone. Okay, so because this happened with Mark, we'll let you kick it off so you can get out of the way and then make fun of all of us in the process. So, what are you going to admit that you haven't seen that is monumentally shocking?
Because we were discussing it, I have not seen any of the Matrix.
For shame.
My heart skipped a beat.
Now,
Just a second.
yes.
What year was Matrix 1 released?
99.
99. Yep, that's not what I was going to say.
99. Okay. Take into account that I was 24 years old and working at a bar at the time.
Okay.
So,
There's a reason I wasn't watching movies. I don't think I watched any movies that were released between like 93 and 97.
So this sweatshop of a bar that never let you
99.
have a
yeah,
day
but
off.
this was
Oh,
99.
no, wasn't. No, I didn't give a shit about movies.
Oh, okay. So what you're
There
saying
was
is-
more important things than movies at that point in my life.
Oh,
Like-
pussy. Okay, I get it.
Like-
Okay, all right.
like mixology?
Yes. I was really into mixology.
Just studying mixology at the bar all night
Yes,
long.
100%.
Okay, so youth
And bar
vigor
trivia.
and bar trivia and all of these other things that happen at a bar got in the way of watching the
Because
movies.
I'm
Ah,
old. I'm
Mr.
older
B.
than the rest of the cast.
Just that's in years on Earth. You're not.
No, in that era, there's a big difference between 5 years when you're 15 and 20 when a movie comes out.
That's true. Priorities.
Because I guarantee you, there's movies that came out when
I
I was
was tw-
15
I
that
was
you
tw-
weren't super into.
I was 20 when that movie
For
came
sure.
out, and I was lining the fuck up to go see that shit.
But you are
A nerd?
a nut for that. You are a nerd, and I'm a nerd
Okay.
too. But at the same time, I've worked in bars. Rob, have you worked in bars?
I've worked in restaurants, not in bars.
Okay, Martin, you've worked in bars.
Yeah, I
You-
worked with you.
Yeah. Well, I
Actually, I did in an introvert way.
Did a lot of work in bars.
yeah, I was working them bars.
It was a stripper.
But we all know that when you're at a bar, the last thing you give a fuck about.
Gigolo is the proper term.
At that point in my life,
Yeah.
I just didn't care about movies. I don't think so. It came out,
Okay,
and
that's
I'm
fair.
like, yeah, I'll see it eventually. But there's a lot of movies that came out in that era that I didn't go and see.
But I feel like it was such a monumental movie that came out because it really, you know how there's movies that come out every 10 to 15 to 20 years that almost reset everything in that particular genre or in the movie making realm.
Saw, for example.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I would say 8.5 is a really good
Okay,
example.
yeah, yeah.
Fellini,
But I fell in love
um,
Tron changed my life.
Speed.
You want it Matrix? Fucking Tron was Matrix before the Matrix. It's a fucking world inside of a computer.
It is.
Right? So Tron was when I was a kid. I fucking loved Tron.
Have
That
you
is
tried
a
watching
great-
Tron today?
I
though?
haven't seen Legacy at all.
No, but
No, but I haven't watched Legacy, and I've gone back and rewatched the original.
I can't rewatch the
It's
original.
tough.
It's really hard.
But I loved Tron.
But it was a great
You
movie.
have a great point, though, in the fact that that was your Matrix. So your Matrix, you checked the box, right? Like you weren't running out out to see it.
You were 7.
I don't know how old was I when I saw Tron, but it
Well,
made an
if-
impact on me.
Yeah, it's
Right?
That's the same thing. It
It mattered
imprinted
to
on
me.
him, yeah.
It's why somebody fucking Martin hasn't seen Rad. Rad was such a fucking major part of my childhood.
Dude, that was such a big part of my childhood too.
Rad.
Fucking right.
I didn't know it even existed until he told
I
me
remember
about it.
sleeping over, having a sleepover at my buddy Corey's house, and his mom rented us 3 movies: King Solomon's Mine, which I never watched and I've never seen to this day, Rad, and Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. Awesomest night ever.
And
we had Pick a Pop and Old Dutch Chips.
Oh my god, I watched Pee Wee's Big Adventure until.
But
it
Rad
broke.
is fucking awesome, especially that intro where he's riding along the fucking fences and delivering the newspapers.
Oh,
and shit.
I wanted a paper route so bad after that movie.
yeah.
I guess just the most, and all of these are like, there's no wrong answer here. It's just, like he prefaced, right? Like you're in the room, we're all talking, everybody's like when you guys crack fucking Simpsons references and Family Guy references, I haven't seen this shit because now there's just too much shit to watch.
We talked about it at the beginning, right? Each generation thinks that they're the one who's fucking inventing something for the first time.
Yeah.
So if your Matrix is a different fucking movie that's about an alternate reality, then like you said, that your box is already checked. The first big romantic movie, character you fell in love with, you're gonna remember that.
But being a guy who's in IT,
See, I know now I should have watched Matrix by now. But it's one of those things that
Can I watch it with you?
we're all
absolutely
watching it together.
that I know. Well, I hadn't seen Blade Runner till I went to the movie when they re-released it with you.
What?
Oh,
Never seen Blade Runner before that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
holy
I didn't
shit,
know that.
this is a big day.
But I mean, that was like
But that's-
8 years ago or something that we went.
Yeah.
But
No.
but I mean, the reason Blade Runner
the
was such a big
yesteryears.
is my dad loves Blade Runner, so I watched it multiple times because my dad liked it so
The-
much. I've seen
Yeah.
Dune so many times because my dad fucking loves.
I
Dune.
loved my dad loves Dune too. So
Yeah.
Dune was great.
Godfather, Hunt for Red October. These are like I
Yeah.
know exactly what you're saying, and like when you're imprinted on, there's only so much fucking data that you can consume to the point where you're like, okay, I don't feel a driving, but it's just so funny because we all know you love like sci-fi and tech and geek,
And
so it's just
Keanu!
I should have seen
Keanu.
Matrix
You
like
know,
20 times.
So based on what I know about you,
yeah.
it makes no sense. But based on knowing why, it makes there's no wrong answer.
I should have watched. I mean, I've seen Blade about 50 times. I
Yeah.
should have seen Matrix at least half as many times as I've seen.
Stop
Blade.
watching Blade.
I've watched the
Blade.
opening scene of Blade hundreds of times.
Oh God, we all can.
And
For
you know
sure.
why though specifically? It's the first DVD I got when I got a new surround sound system, and that the opening scene was amazing on the surround sound.
And it imprints on you, and you have that memory. Martin,
yeah.
admit it.
Was that the Mayor of Easttown accent?
That's
I like that one. I like that one.
Left my khakis in the pack.
Khakis. I still haven't seen Mean Girls yet.
What?
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. Gee, you
I
can't.
watched the first 8 minutes and then stopped. That's it.
You
First 8
cannot
minutes
stop.
and stopped.
You can't sit at this table anymore.
I
Martin.
have not spoken for 30 seconds. I'm inside.
or the Adderall kicking.
Mean Girls is so fetch.
It's so.
Gretchen,
I'm outside looking in.
stop it.
Oh.
Stop trying to make fetch
Okay.
a thing.
So
Lindsay Lohan's going to be on a new rom-com on Netflix.
yeah, I heard.
When did that movie come out?
Hang on.
2001, 2002.
I'll fact check you on that. Keep
Mean
going.
Girls is even on.
It's
the
before
cult,
the Note-
cult
it's
movie
before the
night
Notebook.
rotation.
2004.
Okay.
So first of all, we'll go with the lay of the land that Mark has put out for us here. What were you doing in 2004 that stopped you from watching it?
I don't know. I'm looking at other movies that came out in 2004.
Analyze this.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawn of the Dead came out. The Machinist. So The Girl Next Door. I watched that.
Oh yeah, I love.
So
I saw The Village, was disappointed. I saw Butterfly Effect. That was pretty good.
you're into a dark, questioning reality phase.
Yeah, I think so.
You didn't want like a light rom-com teen.
Oh, Life Aquatic. Life Aquatic was out that year. I saw that.
Can I ask you a question? Like, I think it's also one of those things that maybe if you know how sometimes when you're single one year, you don't see certain movies because you don't
Yeah.
have a significant other to watch them with. You're watching movies with other dudes.
Point, Rob. For sure. Yeah. Your environment dictates
Totally.
what you're watching.
Because there's been certain movies that have been kind of like rom-coms or romantic movies that I haven't seen, and then I watch them years later, and I'm like, why didn't I watch that? That's totally my jam. But it's because I wasn't in a relationship at that time.
I think everybody should go through their life and chart like their favorite movies and see how it lines. It's kind of like the fucking 23andMe of movie watching. Like see
doing
your
this.
fucking
We're doing this.
genetics of movies.
It's
Yeah.
weird though. It didn't matter if I was single or in a relationship. I love Will Ferrell.
Yeah, all the time.
That's because you can be in a relationship and watch Stranger Than Fiction, or you can watch Step Brothers, and either way, you get the best.
But
of
I
both
can
worlds.
discover
so
like,
much more room for activities.
Will Ferrell was like an adult. Like he already was hearkening me back to my teenage comedy years.
yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't my teenage comedy guy. Like he's my adult
He totally
throwback.
is. Totally is.
Right? Like he threw me back to times of fucking Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and like
That's a gooder.
right? What the fuck is his name?
Rupert.
Yeah, like
Rupert.
that
Fuck, Michael Caine's
era
so good in
of
that.
well, Michael Caine's fantastic. Steve Martin, like all of Steve Martin's movies, like early Steve Martin.
May I
movies.
use the bathroom? Yes.
Rupert, go play with
Thank
your pots
you.
and pans.
So it was that
Rupert.
goofball comedy that Will Ferrell, like it reminded me how much I loved the early like Steve Martin stuff. And
The
kids
Jerk.
nowadays have no fucking idea about
No.
early Steve Martin.
They don't. But guess what?
He's
Martin
just
Or
He-
Richard Pryor
He's
or
just the old guy that was in the movie with 12 kids and he plays the
exactly
fucking
right.
banjo.
Yeah, fucking Father of the Bride.
Susie.
Or no, 12.
Susie
yeah, I know
Q.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
12 hot dogs, 6 buns, or is it the other way around?
It's 12 hot dogs, 8 buns.
That's it. Why do you do this?
Can
But
I tell
guys,
you why?
guys,
because
hang on.
typically, by the time you get to you eat all 8 hot dogs, right? If you had 12 buns, the good chance is those 4 buns would get too stale, and you wouldn't want to eat the last 4 hot dogs. So you eat
it's about
8 hot
consumption.
dogs, and then the hot dogs are still good in the fridge. So then you go out and get fresh buns because fresh buns on hot dogs are the best.
Life pro tip, Rob.
I think
Strachan.
movies are cyclical in the sense that we talked about Will Ferrell. Is some people Will Ferrell is their Will Ferrell. To me, it harkened back to, like I said, Steve Martin goofy stuff. Now there's people that saw Steve Martin and like, oh, that reminds me of Laurel and Hardy, like early slapstick goofball comedy, right? So it's wherever you fit into that cycle is that movies are going to mean more to you sometimes. So
Oh, for sure. I have a lasting impression of certain movies, and other ones were and like I know what I was doing, where I was doing it, who I was doing it with, which is like
sometimes it's why people are Star Trek or Star Wars, like where that hit you in your life.
sir, it's always Star Wars, but that's fine. But
I'm like a 60-40 split Star Wars, Star Trek.
I don't get caught in my waistband. For
See,
Star
the
Trek.
TV show Star Trek really sold me on
I don't
Star
get stuck
Trek.
in my waistband. I will fight you.
Guys, hang on here. You can
Phaser versus blaster.
phase me all you want.
Record that. That's going to be a debate. Phaser versus blaster.
I was Battlestar Galactica.
Write it on the wall after we're done. But
Guys.
Martin hasn't seen Mean Girls.
Okay, yeah, back to Martin not seeing Mean Girls.
can I
I'm not
say-
letting him off the hook on
Can I
this
say
one.
something about that though? Like I love Mean Girls. It's one of my guilty pleasures, but I would not say that Mean Girls is a cinematic gem and is a placeholder in the evolution of cinema. The Matrix is. Sorry, Mark.
But, okay, but are you arguing technical aspects of making the Matrix? Because
Correct.
Okay, sure, and yes, the fucking well, I mean,
That's all.
like bullet time or
bullet.
whatever the
That's
fuck.
thank you very much. The bullet time stuff. Yeah, that's a game fucking changer right there. But to that point, it is so laced in pop culture, has been memeified out the ass, like
What has?
the Matrix. No, Mean Girls. It
I
is-
think there's more memes of Matrix than of.
it is
of
anchored to
Mean
Tina
Girls.
Fey. Like you can't,
Yeah,
she can't
that's
go
true.
anywhere without
That's
it
true.
falling. Like so, I will say,
Tim Meadows is badass in it.
yeah, and I will say that yes,
Rachel McAdams,
Mhm.
fucking.
but to
Fetch.
this whole thing, that is a globally, like, that is a well-known popular movie. So it stands for Martin to be able to say that, because it isn't technically as astounding as The Matrix, but it is nonetheless a fucking fantastic one. So what, like now having seen it and caught it and been called fetch, are you gonna? Is there a desire to?
Not really. I mean, I think I should now, but I really have no desire to see it. I don't know.
Do you know like the pop cultural references that are pulled from Mean Girls and
I
not?
see the memes.
Yeah.
I see the memes. Yeah, I still don't. I'm like, oh, that's from Mean Girls. Someone had to explain that. Was that date that they put in the meme? I forget what date it is, but someone had to explain that to me the other day.
I think we're going to do a debate that circles around Mean Girls, thus forcing you to watch it in advance of said debate.
Well, we are doing a debate next weekend where we're recasting the plastics from the Mean Girls with me and Jimmy and CC and Ollie from the CC and
the
Ollie show,
Plastics.
which are 2 local podcasters / sketch comedians who are going to come on. So we are actually going to do it. So if you want to be here for that, you're more than welcome to.
I think you should force Martin to.
Yeah, that actually would be more, or like
I gotta watch it.
try to debate it, like not watch it. He'd be the only one.
He's
who
going to
hasn't
watch
seen
it on on double speed.
Yeah. But like, okay. Like, what doesn't interest you about it, Martin? Like, is it the high school story that you're not really
Is
interested
it Lindsay
in?
Lohan?
Is it Lindsay?
Yeah, just the high school story. I mean, I'm not in high school anymore, so I'm just not interested in that genre really, at this point. And it's, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't seem like I would be, I don't know, the target audience for this. Like Tina Fey wasn't writing this for me,
Oh no, she wasn't writing it for any of
right?
it. But
I'm
like,
just like, that's why I never saw it. Like it said, like I just never saw it just because I thought that, it's not written. She didn't have me in mind when she was writing this.
Come with me for 1 second on this journey, Martin.
hmm
Mean Girls. Mean Girls is basically the same story as Karate Kid.
What?
It's a boy, it's a person that is taken out of a completely different environment where they were raised, thrown into a new school where they don't belong. They struggle with wanting to be part of the cool clique and then getting put down, not being able to be part of it, finding friends that are outside of that circle, and then finding themselves in the long run, and then turning against the bad people at the school.
it's a coming of age tale.
It's a coming of age tale.
Yeah, man.
The only difference, though, is that Danielson never joined Cobra Kai.
That's true.
Did you guys see the?
But I
Is there
like-
a crane kick? Is there a crane kick in it?
Solid as fuck of the match.
Is it what was that, Martin?
Is there a crane kick in it?
Basically, they sort of crane kick them in the burn book when she turns the
Sure, yeah,
right. She
yeah.
turns the
She turns
tides on.
It's a metaphorical crane kick.
yes.
There's
He's-
no.
So she fucks back in different ways, right? Metaphorical, yes.
She fucks.
Yes.
Metaphor.
But she screws with them in a more subtle manner.
Halloween, the only day of the year where girls can dress slutty.
that's right out of the fucking. I have Tina Fey's book, so I read it after, and it just makes me love the movie even more. Like you can see her writing it. But again,
Tina
to be
Fey's-
fair,
she's a fucking genius.
to be fair, like it is not a movie that is marketed to our demographic. So if
But
it
I
does-
strangely fucking love it.
yeah, no, it just
Just like
has-
what's the cheerleader movie with Kirsten Dunst?
oh
Bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it on.
I fucking love that.
Oh,
the first
it's
one.
been brought.
like it's so bad, but I it's like
Spirit Fingers.
oh dude.
Oh, me. Fucking
I still
pitch,
reference Spirit Fingers and when people don't get it, I'm always like, what the fuck?
Pitch Perfect. I fucking am a sucker for Pitch Perfect.
I'm not a big fan.
Oh, love it.
I've seen it. I mean, it's good, but I don't know.
I can
maybe I'm
almost
not
do
into-
the cup song.
Maybe I'm not into acapella.
Do they call themselves the Pitches? Is that part of? is that part of Pitch Perfect? Is that? I mean, they're missing something there.
Anyways,
Anyways, okay.
what's
so
yours, Mike?
What's mine?
Yeah, admit it.
Admit it. Toy Story.
What?
seen it.
Any of them?
None of them. None of them.
No.
Not a single one.
Damn.
I know. Buzz.
That's
What
worse.
kind of childhood did you have? What happened in your childhood?
Are you?
I knew this was going this way.
No Buzz. No Woody.
No, nothing. No.
Are you dead inside?
Just
Oh my
okay.
God.
All right.
Mr. Potato Head?
Nothing, guys.
Rex?
No. Like I know that. Who's Rex? Is that
Little Bo Peep?
no?
Sid? What about Sid?
Who said?
God, he tortures his toys.
The three-eyed little creature, the space creatures.
What?
Well, okay, and hang on, hear me
the
out here, guys.
crane.
You started selling the people inside the locker in Men in Black.
All hail Jay! All hail Jay! 2-for-1 pizza.
They're kind of almost the same.
Large
character.
adult section in the back.
Okay.
I watched Men in Black International this week too.
It's good,
It was actually pretty good. Anyway, go on.
I know I said that the 90s was the best era of making for filmmaking, and this is smack dab in the middle of it in 95.
That's like the
And this
birth.
created
That's
Pixar.
the birth of Pixar. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
the birth of Pixar.
This is the birth of computer animated fucking full length.
Go back to Rob's idea about like advancements in filmmaking. Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Matrix is still bigger.
I know.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Inflection. It
Fuck
helps.
off.
Fuck off. First of all, yeah. Right smack dab in the middle of my childhood, I was playing sports at the time. So I was
Likely story.
I was watching
like ping pong.
no, like basketball and volleyball and track and all of those sports in junior high and high school. So I was really into sports movies. So I was really into things like
Rad.
He got
Rudy.
he got Game, right?
I
Or
love how
like-
Mike hates us.
Or Basketball Diaries, right? Like,
Basketball Diaries has nothing to do with basketball.
no, well, I found that out after.
It
So-
literally has to do with like inhaling drugs.
yeah. No, I
Like literally inhaling and like inhaling mass amounts.
that was a sad day. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Can we title this part of Mike's life as the hip hop phase? It seems like this is his hip hop phase.
100%.
Is this
Martin.
before or after eyeliner?
He was watching
Before.
a lot of In Living Color.
Yeah. He had track pants. He had a cardboard box where he would break dance.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I pulled that shit out with my Adidas breakdown, like DMC Adidas theme.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. So yeah, I was into a lot of those movies, and I've just never like I graduated out of my kid phase for cartoons, and
I'll
it
show
just,
you white men can jump.
Yeah,
That's the original Shake and Bake in the movies. That's the original Shake and Bake in movies.
yeah. No, I definitely thought I was Woody. I just I will use your reasoning, Mark. Priorities at the time were not like I liked cartoons, but I graduated out of them. I don't know what happened, but I have a hard time sitting down for an animated movie. Like I loved Soul because I've seen the progression. I've noticed the progression of Pixar and how amazing they are at what they do. There's nothing about what it was that I wouldn't have liked. It's just a bunch of fucking toys.
So did you see other Disney movies?
Yeah,
So let's this is usually a good determinant of when you're different ages. What Disney movie was most impactful to you in your
sure. Okay.
years, right? Like me, Little Mermaid fell. The other ones were kind of made before I was born and when I was little, but Little Mermaid was like my first date I took to Little Mermaid. In the
Sure.
theater.
Yeah.
It's Aladdin for me.
Aladdin for sure.
I think I'm. Well, Beauty and the Beast.
I was going to say you're Beauty and the Beast all day.
I'm Beauty and the Beast all day. It's Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, Lady and the Tramp, The Rescuers Down Under.
See, those are old though.
Yeah, those
so,
are.
but the one that really came out, right?
Like the one that was actually like a new release in the theater.
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
100%. Be our guest all day long.
Be our guest.
Oh,
be our
Under the Sea.
guest.
Which, and like, moment of remembrance, the doo-doo voice Sebastian died this week.
Oh,
Oh,
So-
that's sad.
Right. But yeah, no, those movies I loved, and I do love the classic collection, like the big plastic VHS box classic collection. So when Disney went off the rails from that, I think that might have been where I was lost. Had I been coming up, say 8 years later, and been born in the early 90s, then yeah, I'd have been all over that shit.
So Toy Story's like new Coke.
Exactly. I like my old Coke. I like the back of my throat to go numb. Oh wait, what are we? Oh, we're talking about Coca-Cola. Sorry.
Yes, Coca-Cola.
But yeah, so I just timing and lacking faith in Disney after my the big animation era.
You don't. There's not that much thought into it. You just were too busy fucking macking chicks.
mac and chicks and breakdancing in a fucking
Break dancing on a cardboard box.
fucking jeans backwards.
Yeah.
Can I,
Oh,
can I make a suggestion?
Totally.
I think you need to watch them, and this is coming from.
pull your mic up. Here.
Well, yeah, my mic's falling all over the place. Is that better?
Yeah, you got quiet for some reason.
This got turned.
He got turned.
Two turned.
Microphone.
I got turned with new Coke. As I've got a 2-year-old now, so I watch a lot of fucking Disney. I think I've seen Moana fucking as much as I've seen The Matrix, and but I've watched.
So have I.
I've watched all 4. I've watched all 4 Toy Stories. Yeah, but I've seen The Matrix like 40 times. They are so fucking good.
I've heard.
And they actually make me tear up at some points, and
I've also heard.
thank you for being my friend.
Thank you for being a friend. I even know that, right? Like, I know the history around it. I
And you
know
know what? The
why
first
it's
Toy
good.
Story is good. It seems a little campy now with the animation, but Toy Story 3 and the newest one 4 that came out. Holy fuck, are those well done movies?
Dude, I even went to Toy Story Land in Florida in Disney World.
Oh, you're a poser.
And
Good to
walked-
know.
No, didn't get it.
The little green army men from
Yeah,
Toy
no,
Story
I
were
know.
just so.
And they're voiced by, hey, Private, how tall are you?
Oh, shit.
5'10". I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
That's Arlie Emery?
Yep, he does the voice of the army guys.
That's awesome. Martin, what do you think about me not seeing? I've
Mike, you gave me a lot of slack for not seeing Mean Girls, and you know what? It wasn't marketed to me. I get that, but like, if you had a childhood, you had to watch Toy Story. Like, did you have a childhood?
Or if you have a,
I mean, it just
are you the fucking Tin Man?
probably with arthritis, but not with a fucking lack of a heart. No, you know what? Like, if you really want to like dig, like, I mean, that's not a good time in my childhood as a kid.
mm,
Lot of shit with parents and just coming into my own and stuff. So like, yeah, I had a good childhood. I wasn't deprived, but I didn't have one full of magic that Toy Story would draw me
no,
to.
but see, Toy Story has that underlying sadness of the old toys that get thrown away.
Mhm.
You would have connected with them.
What the fuck are you saying?
Mhm.
Nobody's thrown me away yet.
Maybe we
well,
should.
that's what it is. It like brings that magic of your childhood back, because everyone wishes when they were a kid that their toys would, wake up and you can play with them and talk to them. It's like your imagination. That's what Toy Story brings out.
Okay, I think we just figured out. Yeah, okay, this is good that I'm on the couch right now because I'm having some realizations here.
Mhm.
I
That you're
think
broken? Yeah, we know that.
And how did that make you feel?
Well, my mom threw out all my toys at that point. Like,
Yeah.
she did
You know,
gut me.
you know what the prescription is?
More Adderall.
Not more cowbell. All 4 Toy Story movies.
I mean, I know it would be an emotional overload, and I'd probably be like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" But, anyways, Rob,
Right after my Matrix trilogy, we're gonna sit down and do the quad trilogy.
It is not just the trilogy because you also have to watch Animatrix.
No,
Yeah.
fuck that.
yeah, no, which is universe, not original. Well, is it the
Is
original?
it canon? Is it canon?
It's canon. It's canon.
It's canon. Anyways, we've done Mean Girls. We've done Matrix. We've done Toy Story. Rob, giving everybody shit. What the fucking over there? What the fuck haven't you seen?
Is there anything
Admit
you
it.
haven't seen, Rob?
Okay, there's 2. Okay, I'm going to give you 2. So the first one is I've never seen Schindler's List.
What the?
Ugh.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Not even in school? Because we were. I think I was. Martin, were you forced to watch it? Not forced, but were you? Did you watch it in school?
No, I didn't. I definitely didn't watch it. I watched it older when I was an adult, just so because as a kid, I didn't think I would have appreciated it as much because I was like, what? It came out when we were in high school, right? I think. When did Schindler's List come out?
I saw it.
I'm
in
just
high
gonna
school.
leave it at this one. The other one's Casablanca. I've never seen Casablanca.
No, it was Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Schindler's List is
Schindler's List is the one.
important.
Okay, and I would guess.
Like I've seen snippets of it. I know the premise of it. I know that Liam
Yeah.
Neeson is it. I know it's Steven Spielberg. It won a ton of Oscars. I've never watched the entire movie. I've seen little snippets of it, but I've never watched it from start to finish.
Can I guess why? If
If
I have to talk to guess.
Sure.
Is it because of its nature and if you've heard that it's a hard movie to watch, I would sympathize with why you're not lining up to watch it because it is a hard movie to watch.
No, it's not about it being a hard movie because I've seen a lot of movies, like a lot,
know.
a lot, and
That's why
it's
this
just
is so shocking.
I think it was one of those things where it was always on the docket, and it just got pushed back and back and back, and it's long. I mean, it's 3 hours.
3 hours
It's
and
3 hours
change,
to
yeah.
change, and I think it's just one of those things where it was like, you're like, okay, we're gonna watch this, and then you're like, but Hot Tub Time Machine just came out. I'd rather watch that.
As you do. I totally. Yeah, like, this is this story because it's a historical.
When did it come out? 96.
93.
Yeah, but you know what? I would have.
So you probably didn't give a fuck about
Well, no, I think my parents rented it, and my intention was to watch it, and for whatever reason, maybe I wasn't home, or I just didn't get a chance to watch it.
it.
You know,
It was important to me, I think, just because where it fell, I was in that right age that I actually cared about.
but I love Spielberg. I've always loved Spielberg, and even when I was like younger, like I knew who directors were of movies when I was like 9 or 10, and that's always been something that's been super important to me. And
I
but
think
it's
because
just-
Spielberg made it is what made me see it. I'm like, the guy who fucking made E.T. Like,
well, and it was the first time he won an Oscar, and he's such a great director. Like,
somebody tells me they haven't seen fucking E.T.
yeah, but it's one of those things. Like sometimes you tell somebody that like Steven Spielberg directed Poltergeist, and people are like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Like there's so many great movies he's done that you forget how many great masterpieces he's done. And I am ashamed that I have not seen it, and I will now re-add it to my docket.
He's one of those directors that doesn't like.
He
if
doesn't
you
make-
say
he
it's a-
doesn't make
if
bad
you say
movies.
if it's a Spielberg movie that doesn't it's hard to picture that in your mind. If I tell you it's a fucking Nolan movie, you know what you're getting,
Well, that's the thing.
right?
Yeah, like the Tintin movie, which is fucking awesome. Spielberg directed it. Fucking so good.
Yeah, he's all over.
Catch Me If You Can. Fucking
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
No, I know what you're saying, and like
Indiana Jones. Fucking Spielberg.
Jurassic Park, baby.
Jurassic Park.
must go faster. Must go faster.
Didn't he also direct that?
But not Geranal.
That,
You tell me that wasn't a Spielberg masterpiece?
that was Steven Spoofberg.
Oh,
Steven Spunkberg production.
But that's Steven with a V, not a PH.
Spunkberg Productions presents Geranal Park.
I think it was Spunk Works.
Yeah, no, that's way better. I like that one. Spunkworks it is. Also, that's a long movie. Like that's do you know when that movie is? That movie is at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Get a cup of coffee, and
No, or a Wednesday evening.
or a Wednesday. Did you say oral Wednesday or?
I
or
said
a Wednesday?
or a Wednesday evening. Get your fucking mind out of the gutter. You're like fucking. You're like obsessed with like reach arounds and fucking bukkake finishes.
Oh,
Colonel Angus.
Colonel. That's one of the best SNL skits ever. Colonel Angus. All right, Martin. Anything else you want to add to this?
I feel like I'm getting the least out of shit.
That's why
I
I'm.
think, yeah. As a movie, Schindler's List, it's probably I see it. I didn't see it when it first came out because, like I said, I was a kid. I probably wouldn't have appreciated it, so I saw it as an adult, and not ashamed to admit it, one of the movies that I specifically remember making me cry at the very end. I was like, wow, that was crazy. That was a crazy ride.
There is no shame in crying in a movie. A movie, if it makes you cry, the movie's done its job.
I refuse to watch it because it's black and white.
But it's so
It's
good.
not. It's not completely.
I know.
Yeah, there's this one.
I'm well aware of the red accent in the scene. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I had to watch it. I didn't have to watch it. I've watched it probably 20, 30 times
But see, in 90,
You see it 20 or 30 times?
easily.
in '93,
Wow.
I
I've
still
watched
thought
a lot
I
of-
still thought I was getting a degree in theater in university in '93. So I was like into filmmaking at that point.
Oh, so you were watching.
I was starting I was starting university, and I was going into a theater degree. So it was.
Did you
like,
take film studies?
I was. Yeah,
I took film
I was
studies my
big
first year at
into.
university.
I was big into theater at that time. So
I remember I got to write a paper on Blade Runner, and I was just like, I get to watch Blade Runner in class and then write a fucking essay about it.
I got to do that for Top Gun for sound effects.
That's cool.
For band, we actually or in music production. We watched Top Gun, and he was like, "This is a lesson in sound effects." I was like, "Sure, whatever, Maverick."
I wrote a paper on Nicholas Coppola.
Oh.
Who's that? I don't know.
What did he do?
He's a national treasure.
Just Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Spicoli.
That's literally the only thing I think that's the only movie that he was credited as Coppola in.
Was it? That was the only one?
Yeah.
He was in and out of Hollywood.
I don't want my famous uncle to make me famous.
Exactly.
You guys want to do?
I'm gonna make really bad movies and do it instead.
Well, actually, first off, before
Face Off is not a
no,
bad movie.
but he now will almost do anything.
Did you guys see
But
that
that's
picture of John
also-
Travolta walking through the?
Yes.
I love that.
that's something to be said about Cage is that he will do anything, which makes him.
Well,
Nicolas
he does
Cage.
anything now because he's broke.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you buy T-Rex heads on the black market.
He had the world's greatest comic book collection before all that.
And didn't
Like
he?
credited as having like the single most extensive like comic book collection ever.
It's easy to buy a collection though when you got Nicolas Cage money.
Yeah, but he's also a huge fan.
okay,
He's a nerd.
fair enough. I
he
mean,
wanted to be Superman for fucking ever.
I've seen the documentary. It's
Yeah.
probably one of the best never happens that could have ever happened in the history of cinema.
I'd rather see National Treasure 3 than Nick Cage's Superman though.
Yeah, I agree.
I really liked National Treasure.
I love
love those
National
movies.
Treasure.
It's
Mart,
fun. Yeah, that was a fun movie. I liked it.
That style of movie I liked.
It's Indiana Jones-ish.
It is very Indiana.
Mhm.
Ooh, let's solve some. It's kind of like
Archaeological conspiracy
angels
theories.
and demons and
Oh, Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code isn't as funny as
I know, but I like puzzles.
with less murder.
keeping the secret of Jesus' identity isn't as funny
Yeah.
as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You guys want to do Would You Rather?
Sure.
All right.
Why
what-
we've
I
come
don't-
this far.
I don't remember this one.
All right.
It's too late to go home early.
That's good.
That's good?
That's good that you don't know what I'm about to tell you. That's not her accent either.
Well, that was kind of
Jesus.
like a weird.
Was there a thing where we're doing accents?
Was that
Yes.
was that like a Swedish German kind of mix?
I thought it was Transylvanian. It sounded Transylvanian.
I believe
Welcome to my house.
I'm from Waukesha.
So yes, there is an accent thing, and it was brought up earlier, and I didn't want to cut you guys off because you were it was funny, but Chris Cook.
But everything we say is funny, so it's hard to interrupt.
You mean Chris
Almost
Cook
true.
from Cook with Chris?
Yeah, Cook the longest.
You
fucking,
know Chris Cook from
I-
Cook with Chris?
We know Chris Cook somehow. He's a fan of the fucking show. Won't stop sending us videos, and he asked a question and thought it would be fun to do. And this is inspired by you guys. Have everybody seen The Trip here with Steve Coogan?
I
don't think so.
Okay, so it's a spin-off.
Is that a documentary?
It's not a documentary.
It's like a docu. It's kind of filmed like it's a documentary.
It's
but
filmed like
not.
it's a documentary. So they play themselves. One's an actor, one's his friend, and they were supposed to go on a.
They travel across Europe, right? In
Exactly.
like that shitty van.
Exactly.
I've only seen the trailer.
Okay, so but they sit down at dinner and they have a Micheal Caine off.
Oh.
So
So we're gonna do Michael Caine accents.
we're gonna pull out our phones and we're gonna pull up lines that Micheal Caine has said in movies, and we're each gonna take an attempt to or say the same line.
No.
So what-
No. We have to find specific lines.
Okay, Micheal Caine movie lines.
I
was gonna
call
say-
Goldfinger. I call Austin Powers.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I'll do Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Or Mark, do you want to do Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
No, I don't care.
Okay, hang on here.
He spells his name correctly, right, Mike?
Yeah, he does.
He spells his name correctly.
He does.
I
you
love it.
fuckhead. Okay,
Right, Micheal?
I will do a long one because I'm putting you through all this. We didn't have to. Do
Michael Caine.
That's what they do in the fucking movie, in The Trip. They're just like, I'm Micheal Caine. No, I'm Micheal Caine.
Michael Caine.
So, you want me to go last or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
You go first? All right. Rob, you're up. Give us your best Micheal Caine impression.
So I am gonna do Nigel Powers from the third Austin Powers movie.
Give it to us, man.
I'm Michael Caine. No, just kidding. There are only two things I can't stand in this world: people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. Mine was terrible, but whatever.
But it's the best quote.
It's the best
It
quote.
is easily the best quote from it. Okay. This is obviously something you have to vote for in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, because we're not going to put this online and outside of this episode. It's just not. It's not good. And fuck you, Chris. Martin, I call on you to go second.
Here is my impression of Micheal Caine reading Humpty Dumpty.
Go.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, I think I only heard one miss there, man. It was like a 99% shot there. Mark, do you want to go last? Or you want me to go last?
Can I ask you a question, Martin? How often do you recite this in the shower?
Oh, lots. That's how I prep for a show. That's how I loosen up the vocal cords. I think of Micheal Caine and Humpty Dumpty.
You want me to go next, Mark, or you want to go next?
Yeah, I don't even how I can't even picture fucking Micheal Caine talking.
Well, this is Micheal Caine.
The first thing you say is, I'm Micheal Caine.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
From there?
yeah. Use that as inspiration. Work from there. So I'm going to do Alfred Pennyworth
yes.
from Batman. Some men aren't looking for anything logical. They can't be bought, bullied, or reasoned or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Very good, Mike.
Not bad. Not bad.
That was cold, too. I didn't even have a chance to warm up.
Wow.
All right. Whew. Felt good.
Whoa, that
You
was
wouldn't believe that was the exact quote that I was reading.
choose one from Inception.
No, Micheal Caine, Jaws 3.
Is he in Jaws 3?
Yeah, he is. Oh, no, that's Jaws 3 or 4, 2. I think he's in Jaws 2. Sorry. I'll look it up. But I know he's in one of the Jawses.
Okay, 1 second here.
I'm looking for you, too, here, buddy.
He has some good lines in Children of Men.
Yes, he does.
It's Jaws 2, The Revenge.
Why don't you just do easy peasy lemon squeezy?
Yeah, just give us a soundbite. You don't have to do a soliloquy like I did.
Micheal Caine. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Excuse me.
You got.
I got nothing. I don't really.
Aren't your parents British? Like, don't you have an
but
edge?
See, but that's like Martin went very Cockney, and he's Micheal Caine's a little smoother than Cockney.
He's
You gotta
not-
smooth it out.
But it also depends on which Micheal Caine. He's not exactly the same accent in every movie.
That's right.
Sometimes he'll upclass himself, and sometimes he'll downclass himself.
God.
Okay, how about one of us chooses the line?
I suck. So whatever.
No, let's do Micheal Caine.
Ruprecht. Do you want the gentle cuff?
Yeah,
There it is, ladies and
that
gentlemen.
was great.
There you go.
Is that Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
Dirty Rotten
Yes.
Bat that shit out.
Bravo.
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 Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Ruprecht.
Give us one more. One more take.
And just say, I'm Micheal Caine.
I'm
I'm
on.
Micheal Caine.
Micheal Caine. This is how it starts, and it doesn't stop.
Oh boy. Let's just
I'm
move on.
Micheal Caine.
All right, fair enough.
No, I'm Micheal Caine.
It was easier to admit you didn't watch The Matrix than it was to do a Michael Caine
than to
impression.
admit I don't have a Micheal Caine.
All right. So that was question number 2. Thank you to our friend at Chris Cook from Cook Like Chris. Maybe one of us will be on your show again after you.
Chris Cook cooks.
Cook kills cooks. Cooks and
Kills cooks with Chris Cooks squared.
all right. Here's one. This we'll do a would you rather and see where we're at for time once we're done this year. This one is inspired by either running for your life or living alone for the rest of your days. So, would you rather be violently hunted in The Purge or wake up in any post-apocalyptic situation by yourself with nobody around you? Martin?
Oh god.
Would I still have Wi-Fi?
While running in The Purge?
No, I meant if you're by yourself, would I still have Wi-Fi?
I'm guessing you would until you wouldn't. Like, that's going to be something that's going to take a while to not exist anymore because of satellites and shit. So let's just assume you have it for
My lifetime?
So, just a quick question. Do you think the internet solely relies on satellites?
No, I'm just. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I know it's underground cables.
Some of them are underwater.
In my head, I said Rob's gonna say some of them are underwater. That was my internal monologue.
Rob's gonna get it.
I literally, when you said it, I looked over to Rob and waited.
It's like you willed me to say it. You're like, I know those
like,
words are in your mind right now. I will pull them out.
Right now,
I
Rob
will
is
pull them out like the heart out of the beating heart out of a chest.
Rob's
And the
picturing
Temple of Doom.
the cable that runs under the fucking Pacific that the fucking Russians are tapping into right now.
Hmm. And don't forget to leave a little bit of slack because the ocean's getting a little bit bigger every year. That's the Atlantic, though.
Okay, Martin.
Somehow we shifted this conversation to tectonic plates. What?
That's fine. We can shift back. It's our show.
Do you know
Post-apocalyptic
It's
world,
kind of
Martin.
cool that they ride on liquid magma.
Sorry, hang on. Post-apocalyptic world or Purge. Which one are you running through? Or
I think I'd post-apocalyptic world. If I'm the last man on Earth, at least I'm not constantly trying to run for my life.
But it's only 24 hours.
Oh,
Like it's a
well then I'm gonna be the last person for 24 hours.
No, it's either
How's your cardio though?
like, do you think you could survive Okay, basically what I'm asking you is, do you think somebody wants to fucking kill you?
Oh, I got enemies, Mike. I got enemies.
Okay, so like, do you think like,
This is a quick rapid fire round here. Let's go.
I already picked post-apocalyptic.
okay, so because you're dealing with yourself and only you, and that's your only one. Okay, perfect. All right, Mark.
Purge.
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 Why?
The,
You itching
the
to-
best defense is a strong offense.
he also has bow staff skills.
Fair enough. I mean, what was that movie with Dennis Rodman where he's like, offense gets the glory, but defense wins the game?
You can't hunt the hunted. No, you can't. You can't
Any
hunt the
given
hunter.
Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
You can't
No, it's
hunt
not.
the hunter.
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be too busy hunting other people that I wouldn't care if somebody.
You think you
chasing
could
me.
really deal with a purge?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I got a list, Mike. I got a list.
You got some grievances?
Oh yeah.
You fucked.
Give me 12 hours. That's all I need.
No blue flowers outside of your house to signify you're not on board. Okay, fair enough. Rob, what about you?
Some would argue that the Purge is a post-apocalyptic world.
You
What?
Mine.
Uh,
No, not really. When
not really.
yeah. Okay. No. One is
I choose the Purge.
you again.
And I'll tell you why. Because as cool as being in a post-apocalyptic world would be, ultimately it would suck because I don't have some of those basic survival skills. But I feel like I'd be able to run away, hide enough, or find a weapon and fuck up the people hunting me.
Okay. I'm going post-apocalyptic only because I'm an only child, so it feels like home.
Which post-apocalyptic do you picture when you picture post-apocalyptic?
Oblivion?
No.
Umbrella Academy.
No. Last Man on Earth.
Mad Max.
Yeah, that's what I picked with Tandy. Last man on Earth with Tandy.
But he's not really the last man on Earth.
But if he was,
And there's all this infrastructure in place, which is kind of like
Zombieland.
meh.
Zombie. I Am Legend. Like, honestly, it would be the last man on Earth because up until he finds people, he's got it pretty good. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
Would
too.
you
you
would
know?
you drive a stealth bomber around too like him?
That's pretty funny, actually.
Is it a stealth bomber or is it a tank? I can't remember.
It's a
Stealth
stealth,
bomber.
stealth
bomber.
bomber.
He
Okay,
takes it to the
yeah.
grocery store.
That's right.
But he can't fly it. All he does is taxi it around.
That's right. Fuck, that was such a. I wish they were. That's a show you got to revive. If you're gonna revive, like he was so, and like he committed to the half beard thing.
Oh yeah.
That like the half facial hair, everything like that was. Shauna had a customer who actually did that for Halloween. It was Colin.
Wow.
Colin did that for Halloween and did the eyebrow and everything.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I have pictures of it. I'll show it to you sometime.
Lunatic.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
Purge.
Love it.
We got a tie here.
Yeah.
You guys sure you don't want to come hang out with us in a post-apocalyptic
Well,
adventure?
if it's Last Man on Earth, post-apocalyptic, I'm in.
Then I'm gonna take that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then.
But
what would be the point of picking like Zombieland? Because you still got to deal with shit. If I'm gonna be Zombieland, I might as well do the Purge for 24 hours. You know what I mean? There's no point.
like Mad Max, where I'm like worried about enough water and fighting with like crazy
Mother's milk.
with crazy S&M geared up fucking
Tribute!
guys trying to get petroleum. Like that's fucked up.
But
Yeah.
if I could just go move into the fucking White House and fucking
Call it a day.
shit in the fucking Stanley Cup and whatever I wanted to do.
Is that your bucket list of
Yeah,
post-apocalyptic
that's-
adventures?
White House, then shit in Stanley Cup. That's it.
Shit.
Yeah, like what if the post-apocalyptic is like post World War III nuclear exchange,
And there's
Like,
nothing.
and there's nothing. There's no
A
food.
barren wasteland.
You're slowly dying of radiation poisoning. You're obsessed with carrying your
Well,
Geiger
yeah, in that
counter
regard,
around.
sure.
Incredible dust storms.
Yeah, no, like
Sandworms.
post-apocalyptic or afterlife? What are we talking about here?
Talking about Arrakis.
Okay.
Yeah, is there spice?
Because I heard that shit gets you
'Cause
high.
I'll pick spice. If there's spice on the ground, I'm picking spice.
I've also not seen Dune.
You can
actually
What?
get
No, I
out.
haven't seen Dune. Give me your.
You haven't seen Fincher's Dune?
I haven't seen Dune, guys. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
But I'm going to. Like, I'm gonna watch.
You know what? Honestly,
I've heard so much bad shit about it that I'm hard.
It's like good bad.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I'm a David Lynch fan too, so I just know that he says this isn't my finest hour.
I just love that fucking Jean-Luc Picard is fucking Gurney in that shit.
The miniseries that came out on TV like in the early 2000s is actually a really good one.
Oh,
to
the
watch.
one that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. I've actually never
Yeah.
seen. There
That's
is
a good one.
version of Lynch's Dune where they added an extra hour of commentary in between with like animated sequences that explains each of the house. That was a special Sci-Fi Channel version that was released in the early 90s. If you ever get a chance to watch that, that's a cool one to watch.
Okay. I do want to get a lay of the land before I go to the theater to watch it. Oh dear God, I say the theater.
Dude, we're fucking watching that thing in the theater.
We're watching that thing in the theater. We saw Tenet in the theater. We're watching that in the
David
theater.
Lynch movies.
Twin Peaks, baby.
Yeah. Did you ever see Twin
Is David
Peaks?
Lynch do? Did he do Existence?
I'm not that big of a fan. I think so.
And he did Naked Lunch, right?
He did Naked Lunch. For
Did he
sure.
not do Eraserhead?
He also did Eraser.
Oh yeah, Eraserhead's great.
Eraserhead makes no sense.
The problem is though is that
None of it
every
makes
time
any
I've
sense.
seen
That's his
it,
trick.
I've only seen it a couple of times, and one of the times I didn't see I fell asleep because I was so high that I don't really remember what happens.
But
So it's almost like I didn't see it.
Yeah, Children of Men. Martin's like he's just waiting for the closing. You don't have to say anything anymore.
But didn't you rewatched it? Didn't you?
He
I
realized
did.
because
Yeah.
he was too high the first time,
Yeah.
which happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just that was a perfect opportunity.
Great film, by the way. Those one camera takes.
So great, like that reverse car chase.
Oh God.
'Kay.
Yeah.
Can I do a quick segment? It's called "What is Mark Hamill's best non-Star Wars movie?" And each one of us gets to shout out one movie and go
I
Mark
don't even know. Movies.
Or character.
movie.
Oh. Well,
did
he's
more
probably.
than-
As the Joker in Batman movies.
Okay, I'll give you that one, Martin.
I was gonna go with the Joker as in the Killing Joke.
Okay, Mike.
I don't know.
Correct answer is the Guyver and or Corvette Summer.
I'm looking at what he's done here. Oh fuck, this is a rabbit hole. We can do this. We're going long here. We gotta wrap this shit
Mark
up.
Hamill also has a really new TikTok channel that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, his dog. I saw the one with his dog, where his dog keeps putting the paw up and he takes the paw.
Tell
It's
me your dog's needy without
telling me your dog is needy.
I don't use Chinese spy machine apps.
I know. We know.
For
Well-
entertainment, I do.
I got lots of other stuff, but we're out of time, so we're gonna save it to everybody who sent questions because there's 3 more that we didn't get to. One of them I know you would love. We'll save it for next time. Favorite movie theater in Winnipeg.
Ooh, we're gonna have to work on that one.
That was from the Manitoba Money Shot.
Ever?
podcast. Like your
Ever?
favorite
Like,
your favorite memory of a theater in Winnipeg as a kid.
Oh.
Like,
I've
a
got,
kid or
yeah.
just as ever
whatever. Ever.
Forever?
Can it be X-rated?
I didn't know. Okay, Dominion News.
We can talk
No.
about
It's not a theater. That's like a booth.
What was that?
More of
Mark?
a booth. It's a booth, not a theater.
It's a booth if there's only one door. if there's no egress, it's not a movie theater.
If
it's
there's
a peep show.
audio and a screen, isn't it a theater?
Argumentative. We can do that next time. But thank you to everybody who listened this time. This has been a blast. We'll have another debate for you next time. So go check out everything us, therealdebaters.ca. Martin, what can they buy there?
Buy a skateboard, please.
Yeah, like buy one. Like we keep saying this in hopes that somebody will, because you're going to be a big fucking deal if you buy a skateboard. Because Rob said all you got to do is prove that you bought one, and then you can help us make an episode, and you can get a shout out.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot we were gonna do that.
Yeah, I've
That's
been
cool.
selling that for weeks, man. So realdebaters.ca, that's where you can see all of our faces. You can read about us. You can learn to subscribe whatever favorite podcast player you listen to us on. We're doing bios. Mark's bio's done. Ian Bauer's bio's done. So if you want to get to know Mark and Ian a little bit better on their tastes, head to that host page. You can.
Was that a passive aggressive nudge to get the rest of us to finish?
A little bit.
Delve deeper into the real-averse.
Yeah, the real-averse, exactly. the fucking real-averse. I love it. And then if you want to buy our shit, it's the Prop Shop. If you want to donate to the show and throw pocket change at us, you can do that. $1, $2, guys. Don't feel the need to go out and buy a skateboard if you can't afford it. We know times are tough with this crazy pandemic. So if you want to throw a buck at us, that goes to paying for shit, paying for streaming.
But we all also know that people are saving record amounts of money. So take some of that savings. Don't buy crypto and buy a fucking skateboard.
There you go. All right, Leah, listen to our financer here.
The Real Debater is a better investment than Dogecoin.
But maybe not Ethereum.
If you want to reach any of us, it's therealdebaters@gmail.com. And to follow us online, follow us at Real Debaters. That is on Instagram and Twitter. Search Real Debaters on YouTube. We have now got a new movie. We're not making movies yet. We've got a new short series. They're called Real Quicks, where each of us give you a 5-minute take on something that we've watched and why you should watch it with a little bit of humor thrown in. Martin's there. I'm there. Everybody else is going to be up there shortly. So subscribe on YouTube. Real Debaters. All the spelling is REEL. And you can also find those videos on Instagram, too, if that is your place to watch your shit. I have been Michael Petro. In Vancouver, it has been...
I have been Jimmy Stewart III.
Rob, who are you this week, buddy?
Stewart of Jimmy.
Perfect. Are you Stuart Littlemark?
Stuart Littlemark?
That actually works.
Stuart Littlemark.
Stuart Littlemark. And I have been
Marco.
Marco. And I have been Michael Petro. Thank you for listening. Watch all the fucking movies. Peace, as he says. We are gone.